So we can do what's Hondo on the mic. From Leo's Paradise, random stream drop like a Dragon Ball fight. No lie, plan stream stacking up, but here's a twist in time. Freestyling on the deck like Luffy's punchlines. Up the channels faster than Zoro sword swings. Gaming pop culture, it's the chaos he brings. Talking movie reboots, superhero hype. Hondo passing the mic, now Bishop's in sight. Cutting flip screen, frame by frame, I align. Laying bass lines heavy, keep the rhythm divine. Dropping 5 videos, can't keep up with the pace. Pass the mic back, Leo's leading the chase. Off the rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. No script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. The rails, no script, just a freestyle rhyme. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life.
What is up, Vital Idols? Welcome back to the lunch hour. Hope y'all having a beautiful hump day. The week is halfway over. Make sure you got some protein in your diet. Make sure you're drinking up that good. This is green tea here, or whatever your drink of choice is. Something that's healthy for you, something sugar-free. And let's talk about today's wild news, bro. We got that True North, or sorry, not True North, Take Us North game has been just fucking crazy. It has been going everywhere on the internet. But not only that, man, we got a 14-year-old, I believe was her age, Scottish girl, brandishing dual-wielding weapons because of the ongoing migrant crisis, and she was arrested for it. It's insane. So yeah, we got all that. We got more. So before we get into it, let's see what Vital Idols we got in the house today, right? Let's see. We got Collective Post-Wall Karens here. How you beautiful bastards doing? LMA, Little Miss Nama says me, yo, y'all. How you doing, LMA? Jeremy, usual viewers in the house. Ryan is here. Thanks for stopping by and liking the stream, brother. Divine at Duckworth, Cryptic Manga. Look at all y'all. Look at all y'all beautiful bastards. Look, before we get into this, y'all know what you gotta do. You gotta like the stream. You gotta like, you gotta subscribe, and if you have the option for that hype button, hit that. I don't even know what that's about. Like, I know what it's about because I read the YouTube thing on it, but it's such a strange implementation. But by all means, if you got a hype button, hit that hype button. Your chats are showing now, Schizosaurus. I can see your chat now. If there was any before that. Oh, Prepare for the Booty Holes did not show until I switched it to live chat. Is what it is. Yeah, that was not showing. I just switched to live chat, which is why I normally use. I don't know why that wasn't defaulting on. Alright, crew. Let's get into our first reaction of the day. We got my boy, Lil Nas X here. My boy, Lil Nas X, talking about Take Us North Studio flees the internet after getting exposed by Asmongold. So I did a video yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. On the Take Us North stuff. Video didn't do well, by the way. Y'all need to step your game up. Video didn't do very well. But after making that video, they went full dark. Like they had already taken this stuff down off of X, but then their website also went dark. So yeah, I haven't done too much research on this in the follow-up because I wanted to see what my boy Lil Nas X had to say. Let's go. What up, Kenneth? How you doing?
Guys, don't I have a grift for you today? Okay, we got a super grift, and we got to talk about it. Apparently, there was a game at Gamescom that nobody talked about that went under the radar. Okay.
Gee, I wonder why. Under the radar. Kind of like the illegal immigrants that be trying to come here all the time. Under the radar.
Take Us North. Okay. We talked about this. First of all,
what up, Jamma? What up, Sarge?
If y'all didn't see last night's New Blackstreet, you have no idea what you're missing. You have, but I'm gonna give y'all a little glimpse of that in just a moment. Before we do, it all started when Smash JT. Well, yeah, technically Jeff. Smash JT put out this tweet. Hey, Jeff Keighley, Why did you make the Gamescom Congress video private? Were you ashamed of being caught promoting the propaganda of an illegal immigrant simulator? Did Asmongold's coverage scare you? I'll be covering this tonight on my live stream at 8 p.m. PST. Well, what was he talking about? As you can see, there was this game, Take Us North, and now the game is private. Oh, the whole.
Now, Take Us North, I didn't mention this in my video yesterday because I didn't know at the time. I found out afterwards. So I made this assumption. You know, I talked in the video about how I assumed that it was going to be like government funded, taxpayer funded, something like that, just like how Dustborn was. It seems like there's probably some truth to that. I still don't have any full confirmation, but they did, in fact, show the game off at the United Nations 8 months prior. Or some amount of months prior, I believe 8 months. So yeah, if you got your game being shown off at the United Nations, your propaganda video game, I assume there was absolutely some taxpayer funding in there. What up, Paul, Neon Earth? How you both doing? What up, Xavier?
Whole damn Congress is private. So, you know, we had to do some digging. And while the trailer may be taken down off of YouTube, we got different ways to get a good little gobble out of this, huh? Let's take a look.
Listen. If you want to shut up making it, you have to think about this. Like
Sleepy Nova, what up?
Crossing the Sonoran Desert. She's unforgiving.
I gotta say, without you know the obviousness here, there's another very famous video game that uses like Spanish guitar opening and whatnot, for its intro cutscene, and that's Resident Evil 4. I gotta say, for a game about illegal immigrants, for a game about like Latinos and whatnot, how you gonna let Resident Evil 4 beat you at having a sick ass Spanish guitar opening? You could have done some crazy shit with this, but you let like the fucking Japanese horror game beat you at your own game. Like that's crazy.
She may trick you with her beauty, but amongst these sands,
It kinda does, Paul.
Beast.
What up, Rodimus Prime?
You will find La Migra swirling above you, cutting through the sky with her blades. Avoid detection at all costs.
To be fair, Atreus' commentary here, sorry, Lil Nas X's commentary here, is brilliant. Because I, too, was speechless when I saw this.
We've all given up so much already. But the sacrifices will not stop here.
Hey, Yarnwich Raid! Thank you so much, Yarny, you beautiful bitch. You need to hit me up. We need to work together again. You're an absolute sweetheart. Thank you so much, Yarny.
We'll go for a chance at una vida mejor. Are you ready?
You hear that deep, heavy sigh? Just the sigh of defeat. I feel you, buddy. I feel you.
And there you have it. Take Us North. The game that is literally about being an illegal immigrant, okay? It's literally, you play the game as a person trying to get to the north of the border.
What up, Matt?
Trying to get across the border into the U.S. Now, listen. As I've said a great many of times on here, you're more than welcome to make the game that you really want to make. You know what I'm saying? Make the game that you want to. I reckon this.
By the way, I say the same thing. In fact, I said the same thing in my video. No one is saying, or at least nobody who should be taken seriously, is saying, what up, Zax, that people can't make whatever games. Nah, make whatever cringe-ass game you want to make, like this, like Dustborn, you know, shit like that. Let the free hand of the market decide. Where I do draw the line is when people aren't making the games they want to make, when they're making the games they're being told to make by an overarching government body, which is what seems like was probably the case here. And if Atreus doesn't pull up the Kickstarter campaign, I will. So I'll explain why. But yes, make the games you want to make, let the free hand of the market decide. That being said, I got a sneaking suspicion that ain't what this is.
This will appeal to a few people. Now, I figure it's probably going to appeal to the people who can't really afford it.
God damn it, he beat me, Joe. I was going to wait till he was done ranting to make that same joke. Fuck you, Lil Nas X.
And out there. Just throwing that out there. All right. But you can see here. I mean, this is in Spanish, so obviously we can't read this. This game is obviously
It's in Spanish, so we can't. Motherfucker. Google Translate will automatically translate entire web pages for you. You couldn't even hit the translate button in the top right hand corner. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't use Google. God damn it, Atreus.
promoting illegal immigration. Now, I don't know if I got all of these resources from.
Oh my god, Jeremy Hughes Reviews is ridiculous to take this north says I would give credit to having really cool graphics. You are insane. You are insane. No, dude, these graphics are dog shit. Like, look, I love cell shading as much as the next guy. Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, they look amazing. These are not cool, dude. These are PS1 style graphics. I mean, this is. I don't know. I find this ugly looking. Like, this is a graphical style that I like when done well, but this isn't even done well. I saw we got hit by a witch. Again, thank you so much, Yarny.
Take Us North is actually a game that's getting it's getting voiceover from actual illegal immigrants. I'm trying to see if I can find it here. There's a lot of resources. It's a lot of stuff to go over.
F3 and type. My god damn it, Atreus.
But they are actually, you know, getting voiceover from illegal immigrants, which is insane to me. It gets worse than that. Indie developers showed off big ideas at this year's Game Developers Conference. Yeah,
correct,
big
Matt.
ideas. Does this look like a big idea to you? I don't know about that. You get out of here. So anyway, you see that's private. Let's go back here. That's the trailer. I wonder if we can go to their Kickstarter.
Yes, please do. Please do go to their Kickstarter, because let me tell you, there's something funny and also a little bit fishy about that shit. We got F squared. We got funny and fishy up in this bitch.
You can see right here, after Asmongold's coverage, they
took the whole ass website private.
They shut down everything. Smash JT, and he literally just put this out here. Breaking Studio Animo Creates deletes Et's account after getting exposed by Asmongold for pushing illegal alien simulator.
What up, Golden Apples?
At Gamescom. Now, the head of the studio, Carla Reyes, has also deleted her account. And they have also privated
No, I didn't see that. Was that broad that was talking at Gamescom? She deleted her account too? Did she delete it or did she make it private? Bro, she full on deleted her account. That's goddamn amazing. Like, how you gonna stand by your convictions and be like, we're proud of the work we're doing. We're gonna go ahead and make a game for change. And then one dude with a cockroach basement, fucking Asmongold is so terrifying. Dude, Asmongold is the ultimate Elden Ring boss battle for these dumb bitches. That is fucking amazing.
And just now privated their own actual website for the game. Ask yourself this: if they're so proud of what they're creating, why did they run and hide everywhere as soon as light was flashed on their project, asking questions about funding, sources, and connections to WEF? Holy, this is insane. Private account doesn't exist.
Whoa, yeah, straight up doesn't exist. They deleted it, bro.
Holy.
Oh, they still got their Instagram, but it's private. They're a whole ass Instagram. Now, I want you to think about this. Their Instagram has 173 followers, right? Their Instagram has 173 followers. Remember that incredibly small number.
They got rid of their Instagram account too. Master of the TDS, why do I think Take Us North has involvement from Sweet Baby Inc? Well, with 4 members of Sweet Baby Inc boosting it, let's just say I have a hunch. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Look, Kim Belair reposted this. Will Herring, Amy Lee Shaw, Tristan JT. Jesus. This is insane. Been looking into this Take Us North game and saw it had raised over $55,000 in crowdfunding.
Here it is. So, it's raised. They needed 30,000 to hit their goal, right? And he might pull up their Kickstarter. We'll see. They needed 30,000 to hit their goal. They got 55,000. All right, whatever. People back Kickstarters all the time, right? No. They got 55,000 off of 500 backers, supposedly. 500 backers. 55,000. Nah, there's something hinky about that. You got 173 followers on Instagram? Bro, nah. This is why I'm saying there is some WEF money in this game.
Zero backers. I got
what up,
problems
AJ?
getting on my
What up,
nerves.
Lilith?
The irony: zero backers actually want to visit an actual migrant shelter. I mean, 5,000 is a lot. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Watch this. If you missed New Blackstreet last night,
Ron's right. What
this
up?
is what you missed. This is we had a ball. Watch this.
No, y'all are wildin', bro. Take us south, U.S. Army edition. Take us home, ICE edition.
They should, instead of making this, they should have made a battle royale at the border.
Where get citizenship?
No. Look what Bill said. Could have been an MMO, World of Wetback.
World of Wetback is wild!
We ain't never getting sponsored, bro. Easy.
You gotta.
Now these are good game ideas, okay?
Plants versus Mexicans. Holy shit.
That's enough. That's enough.
Stella border.
Red Dead Immigration has this.
God, guys, if you're not following NBS, what are you doing? They're one of the kings on this platform.
Yeah, that was it.
No.
Red Dead Immigration is crazy. Okay?
Now, World of Wetback was the best,
Red
though.
Dead
World of Wetback
Immigration
was the best.
Is insane. Okay, so obviously, oh Lord, what does Alyssa Mercante have to say? Does anyone have a direct contact for Jeff Keighley? I want to ping him about supporting Take Us North and his dev team as they faced an onslaught of abuse after their game.
Man, what the hell Jeff Keighley gonna do? Like, ain't nothing Jeff Keighley gonna do that's gonna save this game from getting fucking 97 concurrent players on the Steam charts when it drops, dude. That is, and frankly, I might be overestimating that. Dude, Jeff Keighley ain't gonna do shit for this game. It was there out of obligation. Like, Jeff Keighley took the millies, dude, to put Call of Duty Black Ops 7 first at Gamescom. Ain't gotta do shit.
Gamescom presentation, got it all. Thank you, girl.
Also, this bitch been in the gaming industry, quote unquote, for how long, and she didn't have Jeff Keighley's information? You go to like these gaming events and write about him, and you didn't have Jeff Keighley's information already? Weak ass.
Man, if y'all don't get the fuck out of here with this shit, man. Man, listen. Hey, listen. Y'all are more than welcome to release the game. It's not like they're doing anything illegal. It's just we all see through it. Now, I defend their right to make the game.
Actually, they potentially are doing something illegal, mind you. They potentially are doing something illegal. Because, as we talked about, this game actually uses, voiceover from illegal immigrants, right? From illegal invading migrants. Now, if they would just use existing audio clips from the news or whatnot, okay, fair enough. But if they hired and paid these illegal migrants under the table to get them to do voiceover and whatnot for the game, that is in fact illegal. So they very possibly did do illegal shit when making this game. 100%.
A story about how you got to illegally cross over into the U.S., perfectly fine, despite the fact that Donald Trump has entered the room. He wants to have a conversation. ICE has entered the room. They want to have a conversation. What was the most intriguing? I'm trying to figure out if I can find it. Matter of fact, I might have to go to the New Blackstreet conversation to find it. But this blew my mind, guys. We found out so much about this company and what they were doing on stream last night. It was insane. A lot of this was just them getting cooked. I want you. Oh, here we go. This is the part. Watch this.
Nick Havoc, a member for 1 month. Metal Gear Consuela, Tactical Cartels, Espionage, Propaganda.
Oh my fucking god.
Hold on, bro. I need to see. Oh, they are.
What?
They are.
They what?
4K?
They are.
Lumi saying 4K, that's wild.
They are. This is from the Microsoft website from the post. So they're actually interviewing illegals.
Now here's the funny thing, right?
Interviewing them for North in public. We presented the project at the
Yeah, they presented the project at the United Nations, right? But there's a part where we discovered
Indigenous, Latino, or fuck, man. Hold on, let me
Yeah.
And shout out to Professor Savage Dad with Juan Hammer Human Trading.
Yes, the hair color is a dead giveaway.
Juan Hammer is crazy.
Aurora,
I can't do
Man,
5,000.
man, come on, man.
Of course. Of course.
Okay, it's probably gonna take me forever to find it, but the point is, the reason why they're deleting all of their stuff is because, mind you, they interviewed illegal immigrants for this. ICE is on a rampage, goofy. You just doxed all these illegal immigrants. Are you slow? So you interview all these illegal immigrants, and you have the audacity to expose all of this, and now you got to delete all of your stuff, because why? Oh, you finna get some people locked up.
Bro, how amazing would that be? Like, how amazing would that be, though? Like, you're an illegal immigrant, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna tell my story, I'm gonna be featured in a video game, and that same goddamn game is what gets your ass ejected, bro. You get Russian rouletted out of the fucking country because you worked on this game promoting others of your ilk, your invasive ilk, to come over here illegally. That is karma. Karma, son. Oh, I would love it.
You finna get some people locked up, gang. That's the truth of it. And by the way, it was determined that you're aiding and abetting illegal immigrants. You may be facing
Right, see, and he said earlier they didn't do anything illegal. Bullshit, it seems like they may have done some shit that was illegal.
jail time. Goofy? Oh, man, this is funny. Take us north, okay? Or as this comment says, Arkham Ice. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Thing of beauty. If you guys haven't watched that video or liked it or whatnot, yo, our boy Lil Nas X be needing the engagement. His channel be dying, according to him, all the time. So I'm gonna sell his channel more than any of y'all will. Go on, click on that, fucking like the video. You know, give it some big ups and whatnot. Atreus is an absolute mad lad, so you'll love to see it. We'll cover more of this as more information comes out. I don't know how often we'll see more information come out because again, they have gone dark. Yeah, they have absolutely been like, nope, shut this shit down. But it is truly a thing of beauty. So when this game does eventually come out, y'all gonna need to pay me to play it. I'm gonna be real. Y'all gonna need to pay me to play this game. Now, I might do it on stream, to be fair. Like, if y'all want to make me play this bullshit in a stream, I'll do it. But we're gonna need some change for that to happen. So, yeah, anyone wants to start adding to those funds, now is the time. That being said, let's get into some shit that may or may not matter. Now, this video from Tet Tome, right? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of these. That's why the reactions. Everyone should watch this. Adultification. And the thumbnail is wild. Now, I think this might have to do with the UK censorship laws. But by the same token, it also might be about like some sort of app that bypasses the child safety stuff. I don't know. The thumbnail was interesting. So we're going to watch this and we'll check it out. And we're going to see what's going down.
Blow up on my YouTube.
Holy shit, I will do that. I will break out a sombrero, a fake mustache, a poncho. I'll do the whole nine, Matt. If y'all want me to stream this, I will go a whole hog. I'll get a sombrero and everything. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. If we hit today's streaming goal, well, I don't know when the game comes out, though. I don't know when the game comes out. Either way, we will definitely do that.
The other day called like Adultification. It was like a Brazilian video with 47 million views in a week. I'm hoping my editor can put a thumbnail of that for my thumbnail. Why this video has 47 million views in 1 week. It's some huge video in Brazil. I don't know what it was even about. Maybe it was like how every game's porn. I don't know. Let's just hear about it.
A YouTuber in Brazil who recently had a video explode on YouTube. His name
Yeah, it was probably a few bots.
is Felka, and he got like 40 million views in a week.
That is insane.
I watched the whole video. It's in Portuguese, obviously, but there are...
Hey, Seabrew at 2banger. Thank you so much, brother man. It says, what is today's streaming goal? If we hit the 250 mark, actually, if we hit it says 250. Frankly, that's kind of what your boy needs, to eat and whatnot. But yeah, if we hit a combination of around the 200 mark, we will do another watch party in the Discord. So thank you so much for being the first to contribute to that, my man. This is for you.
You and I are enemies now.
Of course, that's not directed at you. That's directed at anybody who's supporting, this sort of fucking immigration game. But yes, thank you so much for the 2banger, my man.
English translations, and I watched it with my...
Wait, why is a video in Brazil Portuguese? Wouldn't it be Brazilian? So we speak American? You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right.
Golden apples are up 5banger. My simulator idea legal. The simulator deal. My simulator idea legal. The simulator idea illegal. We are not the same. I don't fucking know what that means. What? My simulator idea legal. Your simulator idea illegal. We're not the same. I'm so goddamn lost. But either way, thank you so much, brother. Truly appreciate you. This is for you.
Now excuse me while I harass someone for having pronouns in their bio.
And yeah, I'm laughing at Teto not knowing they mostly speak Portuguese in Brazil as well, Paul.
Friend who's a lawyer in southern Brazil who helped explain some of the less clear
Speak
parts.
American.
No, I am an American. I'm not Brazilian. I don't speak Portuguese. So this is just my understanding of the video, and I thought I would try to translate it, I guess, in a way, or transmit it in English to the United States and English-speaking audiences for Falco, because I really do think his video is great. It's in the description below. It's 100% worth a watch, even if you don't speak Portuguese. The subtitles are good enough to be able to tell what's going on.
It was 47 minutes of another language. I'd rather just watch an anime. I ain't watching all that shit.
It's definitely worth your time.
Okay.
Falca essentially exposes how larger social media platforms like Instagram and its parent company Meta not only reward but arguably even push pedophilic content.
I mean, yeah, who didn't know that? Out of curiosity, who didn't know that? And frankly, I would also argue that Twitch does as well. Twitch does as well by letting all these titty streamers on there for a site that's 13+. But yes, Meta, fucking Facebook, Instagram, frankly, X to an extent as well. I saw this post, right? And it was a mom, and she, was posting pictures of her clearly, I would say, middle school age daughter. Oh, first day at school, I hope my daughter has a great time experiencing middle school, something like that, right? It had 2,800 bookmarks, and it was just a picture of this little girl in her back-to-school outfit. That's fucking creepy. Why is there, 2,800 bookmarks on a picture of a child in her back-to-school fit? That's fucking weird, bro.
How apropos is this with Roblox defending child predators more than children? Absolutely, yes, they do. 1,000,000%.
It's gained so much traction that the Brazilian government is currently debating legislation.
I mean, brother, I've been calling out lolicon content for the entirety of my career, and those are some of the biggest hate threads that I have, is going against things that I believe are endangering children.
That's true, Paul.
Warping the mindset of people to be attracted more to children. It's really bad. It is.
Over potential restrictions for minors with the use of social media. For example, I think there was one senator who suggested that instead of banning children below a certain age from accessing platforms straight out, because let's be honest, kids always find a workaround, and if you make something illegal, it just makes it cool. The senator suggested that content containing persons under a certain age would not be allowed to be within the content on the social media platform.
I mean, I agree with this. I don't necessarily know that it should be legislated because, again, I don't like the government getting involved in shit. I do not like the government. In fact, I loathe the government. I'm an anarchist. Fuck the government. So I don't like that there should be legislation. However, we should absolutely foster a culture where people are like, hey, don't put your fucking kids on the internet. Don't put your kids in YouTube videos. Don't fucking post pictures of your kids online. That is definitely good. Dude, I understand that back when social media and whatnot was new and we didn't have, our thoughts around where shit was going. But after seeing just the way things have progressed over the last several years, it's not good.
So, for example, if the law was set at 18, if you were under the age of 18, you're not allowed to be in TikTok videos. You're not allowed to have pictures on Instagram. You're not allowed to be in YouTube videos. You're not allowed to live stream or to podcast, etc., and so on.
I absolutely 1,000,000% think they should do that. I'm sorry. If you're a 12, 13-year-old girl, you do not need to be posting yourself on social media. You don't need a social media. You don't need to be interacting on Twitter. You should be in school, focus on getting educated so you can get a job. Now, once you're above a certain age, go for it. Absolutely. I think 18 is far too lenient. I'm much more of a fan of the number 22 or perhaps even 23.
Nah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, and my thought process is that, look, once you're 18, you're a fucking adult. I get it. Human brain doesn't fully finish developing until you're 25 or so. That being said, I look back to the argument like I do, like smoking or drinking or tattoos, which is if you can be drafted and forced to go to war and potentially die for your country, you can get on the fucking computer. You can get on goddamn social media. You should be able to smoke. You should be able to drink. I am in favor. Now, so one of two things needs to happen. Either everything needs to be baseline 18, or everything needs to be aged up to 22, 23, whatever it may be. But it needs to be uniform. Because there's no good goddamn reason why you should be able to go to war and fight and die at the behest of your country by their mandate. You don't get a choice in it. But you can't fucking get on social media, or you can't get a tattoo, or you can't smoke, or whatever it may be. Yeah, you missed the Take Us North stuff, unfortunately, Netflix, but you can always go back and watch it when the show's over. But that's my thoughts on that.
18 is fucking psychotic.
Comes with rising concerns about how social media is having some serious negative effects.
What up, Rachel? What up, Cad?
Not only in Brazil, but in the entire world with children. Their self-worth, yes, but also their values. When I was in school, we used to say things like,
But yeah, yo guys, I challenge anybody. Y'all explain to me why a 12-year-old needs an Instagram. Go ahead. I would like a single reason. They fucking don't. There is none. And them having one already is the result 1,000,000% of bad parenting.
I could not agree with this more. I don't have much to commentate on. That's
I'm never going
just
to use
facts.
this in real life. Why do I need to know a squared plus b squared equals c squared? That's totally useless. I'm not going to use it, blah, 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 blah. But the result of that was that
You know what's crazy? All these things that I said was useless to learn in school when I was a kid, I was 1,000,000% correct on all of them. Like, dude, they taught you so much useless.
Graves says, as much as I enjoy AMV style compilation of kids doing funny things, ban kids on social media, something shit. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, look, there are videos. There's a particular style of video that I really love, and that is children for the first time reacting to Luke, I am your father, which I know isn't the actual quotes. No, I'm your father. The point is, so there was this trend for a while of parents showing their little kids, 5, 6, 7 years old, whatever, Empire Strikes Back, and then recording their reactions to the big reveal of No, I'm Your Father. And, like, seeing these kids' mind being blown by that is so wholesome. It's so adorable. It takes you back to, or at least take me back to when I watched Star Wars with my dad, and, like, that happened. There is wholesome, beautiful content out there that does, you know, have kids in it, that's like parents sharing memories and moments and whatnot with them. And it is, it would suck to lose that kind of wholesome content, but I think the risk outweighs the reward. I don't think it should be legislated. Again, I will say that. I don't think that it should be legislated because I don't like the government getting involved in shit. But I do think we need to find a way to foster a culture that absolutely looks down upon children on the internet. I like when kids choose their star. Oh, I've never seen content like that, AJ. But again, I bet that would be the same. I bet that's a very similar thing, you know? Like kids choosing it for starter Pokemon, and like if you're a parent that grew up with Pokemon and your kids are getting into it, yeah, I bet that would be equally adorable content. But again, it's a risk versus reward sort of thing. What up, Gamer Empress, you beautiful bitch?
Shit in school. You know what they should be teaching you in school? How to do your fucking taxes. Because who the hell knows how to do that?
Failed the test. You didn't pass the class. You looked dumb in front of everybody. And it was generally all negative.
Oh, that sounds great as well, Paul.
Like,
não quero fazer faculdade. Vamos supor que eu seja médico. Aí eu vou estar lá, o cara vai estar morrendo, eu vou falar o quê? Ei, não, mas eu acho que raiz quadrada de 8 é igual a 5 e o cara vai morrer aqui porque ele tá com câncer. Não dá.
And the feedback loop that they're receiving is they're getting clout. They're getting popularity.
No, you didn't only get Pikachu, Matt. That is the wrong way. No. You didn't only get Pikachu. This is why Pokemon Yellow was the best, homie, because I have Pokemon Yellow as well. You got all three. You got Pikachu plus all three starters. Pokemon Yellow was the GOAT for that, son.
And they're making more money than most adults, which is obviously having a deteriorating
Oh, man, you're in
effect
for a
on
rough
society.
one, gamer girl.
Velka also shows how adults abuse children to make money and to get clout from these social media programs. This isn't anything new. We've been seeing this for years. Children being made the center of a prank, children being made to...
Y'all remember that one little kid where their parents would, like, force them to review toys and, like, react in a certain way, to scream at a certain moment, to cry at a certain moment? Like, that shit's...
To be fair, I'm very happy the channel Tyler Toys Review or whatever exists, right? I'm very happy that channel exists. And for one reason only. Because every now and again, you see these engagement posts, right? These clickbait posts on X. So, like, if you had to fight one creator and you walk away with $10 million, who would it be? Dude, for me, it's always those child toy review channels. I could kick the shit out of a 10-year-old and get $10 million. Yeah, it doesn't specify who the creator has to be. It just says, what creator would you fight for $10 million? Absolutely one of those child toy related ones, dude. I kicked the shit out of a 10-year-old for 10 milli. Go back to playing with your fucking Transformers while I collect my bag, bro.
So weird, bro. Like, these people who use their kids for content are so fucking lame. Irresponsible pet owners are so fucking irritating. Like, I had some people actually giving me shit. I had people giving me shit the other day about people thinking that I took bad care of Mango.
Don't give the Pokemon Game Boy games a try. I'm going to vehemently disagree with that. Pokemon on the Game Boy / Game Boy Color is an exercise in misery. Like, I grew up with those games. All those games, I have nostalgia for them. But Pokemon didn't actually get good till the Game Boy Advance, right? It did not actually get good till the Game Boy Advance. Don't play fucking Red, Blue, Yellow. Play Fire Red and Leaf Green. Play Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, whatnot. Play Shining, not Shining Diamond, Brilliant Pearl. The Silver and Gold, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That's what it was. Like, those games, while they're fun in terms of like our nostalgia, are just bad in terms of quality of life. Yeah, don't do it.
Because he had blood coming out of his butt. Yeah, you want to know why that happened? Because when I sent him to get professionally trained, like my
what up, Joseph? How you doing, brother?
Recommended that I did. He caught worms from the trainer, not me. And the reason why blood was coming out of his ass is because the moment I sensed he was unwell, I took him to the vet to get that shit cured. And the same thing if I ever have a fucking kid. Now, you don't see me doing like more than like 3 posts about Mango just being cute on social media. But I'm not making my entire financial stability around having a dog or having a kid. And that's when it becomes a problem. When you have a kid just to make content for him, that's when it becomes a problem. When you have a dog just to make content about him.
Now, this isn't even a social media thing or a content creation thing, though. How many parents did this shit for, like, Disney Channel kids? How many Disney Channel kids, like, their parents forced them into it? They wanted to use their kid as a get-rich-quick tool, right? They're like, oh, look at my adorable little child. I'm going to stick them in a Disney thing, put them in this horrible, abusive situation, and because of that, I get my bag. Like, that shit is disgusting, son.
That's when it becomes a problem, unless you are a professional. It's fucking stupid as shit. Like, I'll be real. Hey, no hate to Speed, right? Speed's making some great content, but I'll be dead ass. Bro, I feel so bad for his cats, and I feel so bad for his dogs.
Yeah,
Getting
Dance
up in their
Mom,
face,
Tyler Tiaras,
screaming,
all
naming
that
their
shit,
cat,
all that shit,
naming
Jeremy,
their dog
agreed.
the N-word as a joke. It's like, brother, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, just, you can have cats, you can have dogs, you can have babies, but like when you make them the sole purpose of your content, that's when it gets very, very, very iffy.
I'll be real, I love posting pictures of my pets on Instagram. I do. But fucking Valkyrie or Annie or rest his soul Hondo when he was with us, we're not the sole existence of my content. My channel didn't fall off after the star of the show passed away. You guys weren't just tuning in for Hondo. I wasn't exploiting him. He was just my fucking buddy, and he was always on my shoulder while doing shit, right? You go to my Instagram, you'll see pictures of my cats and whatnot. Gimpy ass little dog Angel with a fucking busted up leg. Like, it's cute to post pictures of your pets, but like, yeah, I think that exploiting your children for views and whatnot is far worse, but doing it with your animals is also fucked up.
Twitter post about him every now and then, but like, hell no.
To tell funny stories, children being made to do reviews or so on and so on. But what Velka is pointing out specifically is how this is getting worse with the adultification of children.
Dude, he's talking about a reality show this Italo guy created, which was basically a reality show about these teenagers. The first thing you saw about...
EB, you talking about any of the ones for the Switch worth getting? Any of the Pokemon games for the Switch? First of all, if you grew up with Pokemon Snap, new Pokemon Snap 2. Like Pokemon Snap 2, new Pokemon Snap, absolutely fucking worth it on the Switch. In terms of the rest of them, man, Sword and Shield, now that they're all updated and optimized and stuff, I guess is the best of a situation. The Switch games really aren't good. If you like Pokemon Go, then Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee are fine. Just as a way to experience Gen 1 again. But, like, I'll be real, bro. Pokemon falling off pretty hard. Pokemon's falling off pretty hard. Pokemon Unite, if you like MOBAs, is a blast. It's great for baby's first MOBA. But that's Pokemon on the Switch, very hit or miss. Hit up Paul Byersmith in the chat about that, and he'll be far more lenient and forgiving than me. He likes Pokemon on the Switch way more than I do.
The two teenagers kissing.
I never played him Netflix for him. I don't want to play as the Pokemon.
Yes, he has a reality show on the internet.
Is it on YouTube or what's it on? What platform?
I don't know.
Y'all remember the show Cuties, or the movie Cuties, where it was about like little girls learning how to twerk? But what I heard about that show that I believe was verified is some truly, truly abhorrent shit, bro.
Which platform he uses, but the fact is, it is a huge success.
Sneeko likes it.
I never heard of this, but clearly it has a lot of viewers. And then he has a lot of kids, and one of these kids is Camilinha, who entered the reality show with 12 years old, and she's still there today with 17. And this Italo guy, he was arrested this morning.
Good. This essentially turns children into stars of reality TV shows like Too Hot to Handle, where kids, sometimes as young as 12 years old, are talking about hookups. They're grinding on other kids. They're wearing clothing that is intentionally revealing, all so the adult can make money. But
it's like that shit they did for Victorious, where they did like this lotion scene where like they were having like pour like this thick moisturizer on one of the chicks' feet.
No, we haven't gotten to that yet, Player
like,
One Enjoyer.
the
Also,
director
base
wanted to
Boudica
watch,
reference.
like the main girl like rub her feet with like lotion and shit. It was weird as fuck, bro. The sexualization of kids in these shows is disgusting. That wasn't even a scene, it was a behind the scenes cut. Yeah, so he recorded that shit, knew he would never make it alive, but kept it for his own spank bank.
there are even further concerns than the adultification of children, or the abuse of children, or the forfeiting of education for money and clout. There is the hidden in plain sight trafficking rings that are found in the comment sections in a lot of these videos. Falco points it out. It's very obvious. If you scroll down to the comment sections of a lot of these videos, a lot of people reference links. These links lead to Telegram channels. These Telegram channels have illegal content, to say the least. Disgusting, vile, illegal content that is hidden in plain sight, that is existed there for years, that's going on totally unaddressed. So like I said, this video is causing major waves in Brazil for good reason.
Why isn't this shit so easy to shut down, bro? Like, we've seen over the last several months how easy it was for Trump to come in and just start sending illegals back in droves, dude. Like, the immigration is, in my opinion, a great comparison to this. We were able to just send motherfuckers packing at lightning rate speeds. Why don't you ever hear the same thing about, like, pedophile rings and fucking fucked up kids content on these, like, again, things like Telegram and shit like that? Why? I would say probably because the elites like fucking kids. They can't be putting pedophiles in jail. Pedophiles like are the drug dealers for politicians, for high up elite motherfuckers. You know, people like the Epsteins and the Diddies and whatnot. That's why. I get it. Every now and again you hear a news story. Oh, 100 people busted in major pedophile ring or whatever. Why is that not an everyday occurrence? We've seen that we can put these motherfuckers down with ICE, and when it comes to illegal immigration, you should be able to do the same goddamn thing with these apps that host this sort of child endangerment shit.
Legislation is currently being proposed to do something about this problem.
This is great to see the protection of kids actually be promoted in the mainstream rather than just be like completely drowned out. Because, like, I mean, like for example, people like Niara on Twitter, and I hate even to say their name because they're so fucking irrelevant, right? They're just some trans Twitter user who just bots.
Yeah, Niara's a fucked up individual.
Like
Fuck Niara.
Want to go online and say that you should hormonally change your children and put hormone blocker in them so they don't have to experience puberty and cut their dick and balls off. It's like these tweets are like hitting the algo. And then you say, hey guys, I don't like the sexualization of kids in anime. But you're like, oh,
well, these tweets are hitting the algo because they are bought and paid for, bro. They're like almost any of those like major, we need to trans kids or whatever sort of tweets are 100%, the likes are bought and paid for. And here's why we know it's bought and paid for. Because this is not the majority sentiment. This is an 80-20 sentiment. When you see, 649,000 likes and like 500 fucking comments, there ain't no way this shit went viral, only got 500 comments from people who, if you read through them, are mostly disgusted by this. But what, it got 600,000 likes from people who were being, just liking it, moving on, other people being silent about it. Yeah, this shit goes viral because it is paid for. These are bots. Full stop. Elon's whole big thing, oh, we're going to stop the bots on X. We're going to stop. Bullshit. Fuck you, Elon. I've not seen a single fall off for the bots on X.
So you're pro censorship? Bro, every accusation is projection. And it's like, bro, what are we doing here, man? The fact that Roblox had so much pushback to just remove the games where people were using predators to find children and remove them from the game. They're like, well, I don't know about that. Like, the solutions are so simple. And they're just finding any way to get around actually solving the issue.
However, the story doesn't just end at the video and at the legislation. Recently,
I'm Brazilian. Even though Felca has a valid point, our communist government is using the argument to push more censorship. They don't care about children. I've heard people say that a lot. They don't care about the children. They just care about censorship over and over and over again.
Which is true, which is why I do not support legislation for this stuff. I mean, again, whatever that Brazilian dude that just typed in Tetone's chat is 100% correct. Doesn't matter if it's Brazil or the UK or the US or whatnot. Any of these sort of like, oh, protect the children sort of laws are not because I give a fuck about the children. Because remember, these politicians fuck children. Alright? These politicians take these children to goddamn Epstein Island and Diddy parties and shit like that. No, we need to create a cultural change, not a legislative change.
At a certain point, you got to understand, for this, though, you kind of do have to care about the protection of kids here. You kind of do.
There was an amendment to this piece of legislation that would have aimed at protecting children on the internet that was submitted in a text file by a member of the Brazilian Chamber of Deputies, Fernando Maximo, that would have significantly weakened the legislation protecting children. When the text file's metadata was checked, it was discovered that Maximo wasn't even the author, but instead the person who wrote this amendment was Marconi Borges Machado, a public policy manager at Meta. If this is true, and it's starting to look like it is, there is clear evidence of a corporation not only interfering directly with the legislation of a sovereign democratic nation, but also protecting the exploitation of children. Like I said, Felca's video is worth watching, even if you don't speak Portuguese, even if you're not Brazilian, because this really affects all of us. What are your thoughts?
I understand that a lot of people are worried about censorship, and to be honest, over-censorship, and I think that's a very valid thing. But at a certain point, we all have to understand that the safety of kids online right now is the worst it's ever been. It is. And the worst thing is like, there's so many sites.
I do not think the safety of children online is the worst it's ever been. I'll be real. I don't. I think that because social media and the internet at large has grown so much to truly be a world wide web, that we see it far more. Like, we every single one of us was talking in chat rooms, shit like that, back in the AOL days or whatnot, that we shouldn't have been talking in. And we was talking to adults, and like, let's be real, that shit was always happening. It's just far more noticeable now because of how far technology has gone. Now, that doesn't mean don't change anything or don't try and help kids or anything. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I don't say the same thing about like murders or police brutality or whatnot. I don't think police brutality or whatnot is any worse than it ever was. In fact, I think it's probably less than it was. But it seems worse because we see more of it because of the rate at which information can be shared. Yes, the ASL generation. Facts, Matt.
Meant for kids that adults are using as predatory breeding grounds. And I understand that some people are very worried about what the government can or cannot get away with, or what they'll do if it's a slippery slope. Because if you let one thing be censored, then what can you not have be censored? But we're going to have to give a little bit just to make sure that our kids are okay.
I don't know that that's true. And this is a harsh reality. I don't know that's true. Because we, like, again, when has the government ever stopped? Ever. Like, it's never happened. It never will happen. Because these people in power don't care about it. It would be different if we lived in some sort of altruistic society that did only care about the safety of children. But they don't give a fuck about the safety of children. Tipper Gordon didn't give a fuck about the safety of children when she was out there, bitching about violence in video games and how it makes kids violent, when every single study ever has shown that that's not the fucking case. No, these individuals want to exercise power and control, and they know that individuals get really up in their feels and start thinking emotionally instead of logically when children are involved. Now, what is the answer? I don't know, because obviously we need to do everything we can to protect kids. That's the fucking obvious thing to state. But how do you do that without giving up freedom and rights? And I don't have a fucking answer to that. But no, I think Tectone is totally wrong here. We do not need to find a way to meet in the middle or back off a little or anything like that.
That's where I stand. I understand people are very worried about what the government can get away with when maybe I just care
Netflix.
too much about the safety of kids. Because I'm emotionally invested. I'm very heavily biased. Because when I was a kid, I wish these things were put in place, right? Because I was also catfished when I was a fucking child. And so when I think of these kids, I think of me. And I wish that, one, my parents gave a fuck. That'd be great. If I had good parents that actually watched what I did, that'd be great. But two, I wish it wasn't so easy for adults to meet children on the internet. It's bad. I understand there could be some downsides for things that they're going to try to censor because they're allowed to censor this thing with.
But it's not even about the downsides because of the things they're going to try and censor. The downside is that you lose your rights. Now, for those of you that are not, especially because those of you, I know I have a lot of foreign viewers and whatnot, people from the UK, people from other countries, Canada. Here's the dealio. The rights that are guaranteed by us in our Constitution, and the way it works, these rights are not granted by the government. They are granted by God. Now, I don't give a fuck if you're religious or not. The idea is that these are God-given rights that supersede any and all human control. The government doesn't give you this shit. The government is just hypothetically supposed to enforce this shit. So the moment you give these rights away, it is an affront to freedom. It's not like the idea of oh, what else are they going to censor afterwards? That is a byproduct. But the overarching fear is that this is an affront to the very concept of freedom.
Kids, but I think the reward heavily outweighs the risk. And that's all I'll say on this matter. And I understand why that video has 47 million views, and I'm glad it did.
All right, so that was an interesting video. Again, I mean, it's not exactly a new topic, online, safety of kids. I'm interested to see how Brazil is going to handle this, but I think no matter what they do, because the government's getting involved, it's going to be a cautionary tale. And it's something that I don't think should ever make its way to the United States. There's got to be a way to protect our kids and whatnot that does not also include the loosening of freedoms. And I know I keep saying it has to be a cultural change. I don't know how to bring about that cultural change beyond just constantly talking about it and getting everybody else to talk about it and just deploying your own local community, parents, things like that. But that's a slow roll, and it's a war of attrition against a tyrannical government. But speaking of a war of attrition against a tyrannical government, it is time that we get into talking ridiculous shit on the UK. Girl defends herself against attacker, and she gets arrested. Now, I have never seen this channel, the body language guy. I don't know anything about this. However, 15-minute video. This was the most, there were several videos that covered this. But they were all super long and whatnot, and I didn't want to do a reaction to something that was ridiculously long. So I thought, you know what? Here's a good one. Or here's what I hope is a good one, at least. So yeah, this girl, for you guys that don't know, 14-year-old Scottish girl was approached by an illegal, invasive, parasite migrant, and she whipped out the motherfucking dual-wheel perk and kept her and her little sister safe. Based as fuck, someone earlier called her a real-life Boudica, or a modern-day Boudica. For those of you who don't know what Boudica is, do your research. She is one of the most fascinating figures in world history. I would legit love a Boudica anime. That shit would be fire. We're talking like real big, like legit strong female type shit. So yeah, we're gonna break this down. We're gonna look into it. Girl defends herself against attacker. She gets arrested. This is the world we live in.
In this video, because the more I read about this news, the more I realized what the UK has turned into, the more riled up I became. So let's discuss this. But I have maybe very harsh words that some of you might not like, but I'm just here to tell the facts and my opinion about this. The police have arrested and charged a 14-year-old girl after she was forced to brandish a knife to defend herself and her friend against a migrant who attempted to assault.
I believe it was her little sister, not her friend. I could be wrong. I read little sister. Yeah, no, she chose Berserker as her class based.
Her near St. Anne's Lane in Dundee, Scotland. I mean, that headline is F up in more ways than I can count. And in case you haven't,
we just did a segment on defending the children, protecting the children, right? This is how you protect your fucking children. This is how you protect your fucking children. Now, frankly, she should have had a blicky, right? This should be an armed populace with some fucking firearms. But whatever. If you've got a retarded government who does not believe in personal autonomy and would rather de-arm, take away your arms so they can have complete and utter control over you because you've got no First Amendment, therefore you've got no Second Amendment to protect the First Amendment, this is the best you're going to get. Either way, still, this is how you protect children.
Heard or watch the video. Let's watch the clip so you understand what we are talking about.
You don't dare! Yeah, she had a knife. You don't dare fucking prove it! You're fucking bad and catch. Why you fucking with us? You're fucking cat bashers! Show the knife! Show the knife! Get the fuck away from us! Show the knife! Show the knife! Don't touch her! That's it! That's it! Show the knife! Don't touch my love star! Show the knife! That's it! Don't fucking touch my little sister! She had fucking 12!
That is fucking... Like, you could tell these girls are terrified, right? This is not this is not an excuse to like show how tough you are or whatnot. Because what real courage is, and everyone says it, is doing what you like being brave, being brave in the face of being terrified, in the face of being scared. This kid is terrified, but by God, did this take guts? Like, this is giving a 14-year-old girl guns seems like not the best idea. Nah, you're entirely wrong, Paul. Give children firearms. Teach them proper firearm safety. I don't give a fuck. Like I think I might be making a joke because guns, girls are fucking emotional, and whatnot. But I get that. However, with this particular situation, no, I am fully supportive of children being trained to use firearms, being trained in firearm safety. And again, dual wielding the axe and the knife, next best situation. What up, Nadia?
Wait until I fucking capture me! She has fucking 12 and you just battered me, mate! Wait until I fucking capture me! Yeah, show the knife. Maracha! Don't touch her gun to me! Don't touch her!
So you realize a couple of things. That the girl was effectively
what up, Cindy, you beautiful bitch. Shrapnel, what up?
See, even in the standard definition of the video, and the accent of the guy filming was not exactly a Scottish guy or a British guy. It was an Abrodian. And by the way, in case you don't know, I have
no idea what an Abrodian is, but it sounds disgusting.
Already made a video about how governments use immigration to control you, and how Abrodians, illegal Abrodians, and that kind of Abrodians that do this sort of stuff to little girls are a problem that has been planted to control the population. That's actually a thing. I'm going to leave you a link in the description of this video. But the most unsettling stuff is that at which point society has arrived.
We say, where are those people from? Do you mean the girls? The girls in this are Scottish. If you mean the guy, I don't know, but he's from somewhere across the pond.
That a
yeah,
girl,
brought in. Thank you.
Almost a child, 14 years old, has to brandish a knife and a hatchet to defend herself from being sexually assaulted.
I disagree, Paul. I do.
There
is no goddamn reason that this girl's safety should be on the line because, oh, scared of kids with guns. Like, no, fuck that nonsense. Fuck that.
Her brothers, her cousins, her father, her male friends. Where are the men of Scotland? Where are the men of the UK? And before we answer that question, there are many things that we can address of how this has been discussed. Of course, this has become a meme, not in the...
All right, he says where are the men of Scotland. They fucking voted for this. Here's the dealio. I don't want to say men. These fucking spineless pussies voted for this. They wanted this. Why? Because they value feeling good. They value their nice little happy feely emotions down in their inside feely parts over their own future, over their own kin, over their own children, over their own wives, over their own daughters. Like, this is what they voted for. And you go, oh, maybe not all of them. I don't give a fuck. Not all of them. All right, sure. So some of these dudes probably didn't vote for this shit. But where are they in defending these children, despite, what it might mean for their future or the law or whatnot? They are passively allowing this shit to happen.
Of course, not in the, let's say, the funny way that memes are, but in the epic way. Although our memes, of course, that are more disheartening than others, such as this from Pagliacci the Hated. Hey, UK, how is it going? Well, little girls are being arrested for carrying around axes to defend themselves from migrant sexual assaulting gangs.
Rape gangs. Let's not soften language. Rape gangs. I want to make this clear. Fuck the softening of language. Rape gangs.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this perfectly describes what is going on. Roman helmet guy, why doesn't this little girl just carry pepper spray? It's...
By the way, pepper spray, at least last I checked, I don't know if it's changed or not, also illegal in the fucking UK. Pepper spray is also illegal in the UK. By the way, pepper spray, as someone who has been pepper sprayed, you have to when going to the fucking police academy and whatnot, does not necessarily always stop an attacker. Also, if someone is trying to rape you, you put them down for fucking good. They can't tell their side of the story if they ain't alive to tell their side of the goddamn story.
Because the UK government's made pepper spray illegal.
But there it is. So yes, it's still true.
Didn't know. In fact, it's illegal to carry anything for the purpose of self-defense, except a rape whistle. The British government exists to destroy the British people and...
A rape whistle. Congratulations. You've got the same tool to defend yourself that a fucking gym coach has to say run your laps faster. Oh yeah, that's gonna solve the fucking problem. Fuck these homos.
That is a sad reality. And that has been a reality for decades already.
By the way, last I fucking checked, when you break out the rape whistle, your ass can still be getting raped while you're blowing that whistle. It also might be hard to roll the whistle while you're screaming in pain. Because I've heard that shit's painful. I don't know. Your boy's never been an altar boy. But the point is, I've heard it's pretty painful. But the fact of the matter is, you could be a good 10 minutes into a fucking forcible meat session until the cops arrive after you've been blowing that fucking whistle. And after that, the cops ain't gonna do shit about the guy anyway because he's the right shade of dark.
And we have reached boiling point. This is I think this is a point of no return.
Player one enjoyer. Don't fucking say grape. Fuck the softening of language. Unless a YouTube super chat's forcing you to censor, then by all means, because I do like my money, I'm a capitalism. But if it's just a regular ass chat, be an adult and say rape. Fuck the softening of language in my chat.
Story of the little girl defending her sister from a pervert migrant was reported locally. You just cannot hate the media enough. Girl on bladed weapon charge. A 14-year-old girl has been charged after allegedly being caught with a bladed weapon.
And so don't you do it, bitch.
They say that she doesn't say anything about that she was defending about from anybody. Okay, this is how the media is reporting this locally. There's so many things. Here's how Reddit is responding to this incident. People suggesting the girls are victims are insane. Yeah, you heard that right.
All right, let's read some of these Reddit responses. Because, of course, it's fucking Reddit. The most cancerous place on the internet. Like, I don't give a fuck what y'all think of 4chan. I will go on 4chan a million times before I ever step foot on fucking Reddit. People questioning the man, suggesting the girls are victims are insane. The kid has pulled out literal weapons. Knife crime in the UK is rampant. Suggesting the man is a pedo is also insane. Doesn't matter if he's a pedo or not. Grown-ass men should not be approaching fucking 14-year-old girls. By the way, that seems, there's evidence there to lead towards homo being a pedo, right? But even if he's not, there's no reason, there is literally no reason that a grown-ass man should approach a 14-year-old girl. You could even make an argument that a 16-year-old girl could be like, here, I'll lay the scene for you. Let's say you got a dumbass 16-year-old girl, or boy, it doesn't matter, but let's say girl. And they just got their license. And they parked like a complete idiot and they boxed you in. Alright. Approach the 16-year-old girl to say, hey, you boxed me in. I can't get my car out. There's an acceptable reason to approach a 16-year-old girl. Guess what 14-year-old girls can't do? Drive. So I can't think of a single motherfucking reason to approach a 14-year-old girl as a grown-ass man. Reddit is literally 4chan repos, bro. Trust me, as someone who has frequented both for content and whatnot, let me tell you, Reddit is 4chan is far better. I'm not saying Reddit or that 4chan is not fucking doesn't have issues. What I'm saying is one is clearly better than the other. It is not just 4chan reposts.
There are people defending the attackers. A 12-year-old girl could still kill you in one swing. She brandished.
What did they drop money? Fuck it, keep it. 14-year-old girl drops money. Keep it. They'll learn to be responsible because they lost their fucking money. Or shout to them from a respectable distance, hey, you dropped that $20 bill over there.
Weapons and was arrested, clearly not a victim. Well, this is normal. This is Reddit. And Reddit, you're gonna see this insane takes in so many tons of clueless takes blaming the guy while there's a deranged dual-wielding hack right in front of him. You know that 12-year-old girl can still kill you in one swing, right?
Correct! The 12-year-old girl can kill you in one swing, which is why this is first of all, necessary. It shouldn't be necessary for a 14-year-old girl to carry around the fucking dual-wield perk. But that's the reality they fucking live in. Why? Because the European governments just allow rape gangs to run their motherfucking streets. Yes, she should kill him in one swing. That's kind of the fucking point, you absolute troglodyte.
Well, especially if you are Redditor and you can barely get your ass off your seat.
That's a good response as well, EB.
Anyone else mentioned this? But this girl has obviously already been victimized by these monsters. She bears all the lower class signifiers of the girls that were and are specifically targeted. Carrying weapons alone is a sign that she knows just what they will do to her. And again, my question stands. Where are the men of Scotland? Where are the men of the UK? I'm going to reach to this post and then come back to the previous image to answer that question. Scotland locals are cheering the arrest of Knife Girl and siding with the migrants. Of course, not of all of them. But it's insane that people are, upset. Well, if people are ripping off, if white people in the UK are just destroying St. George's flags out of poles and everywhere, which is insane. Well, I can't believe anything because, yes, there are deranged people. There are sick people in this world and people that hate themselves and their culture and their heritage. I don't know how a country this far gone ever comes back.
They won't, by the way. They won't. I don't know, all y'all need to hear it. If you're in the UK and whatnot, sorry to be the one to tell you this. Your country's gone forever. It's lost. You guys have lost your nation. There is literally no recovery from this. If you have got to a point where your 14-year-old girls need to carry around weapons because your government is blindly, not even blindly, openly and acknowledgingly allowing these migrants to come in, giving them fucking hotels, 4-star hotels to stay in, saying, fuck the safety of our citizenry. There is no coming back from that. It's done. It's done. It's dead. It's gone. Outski. Sucks to suck.
The people who think this girl was just protecting herself by having these weapons are going to be singing a different tune if immigrants get tooled up to protect themselves. What is this? This is a false equivalence. This is a girl trying to protect herself. I mean, this people saying the guy was probably bothering her, and I honestly don't believe it. I'm not going to repeat any of this because this is the kind of things that got me really, really angry, and I need to organize my thoughts about this. Let me see. We should put the actual girl in the frame. Yeah, this is the symbol. This is Scotland. This is the UK. This is so many countries nowadays. The Netherlands had a gruesome.
I want to remind you guys that not only was this, hero doing what she had to do, guys, she was arrested for this. Now, I don't know if she's going to, due to public outcry, not receive any charges. I don't know if this is going to go on a record. I don't know how this shit works in the UK and Scotland, any place like that, right? But she was arrested. Like, that is, I cannot imagine the idea. Her life was in literal danger, and she was arrested and charged.
A gruesome murder a couple days ago in the same circumstances. And these judges keep releasing these subhumans to the streets because this is by design. And again, you might ask, okay, you're asking.
Correct, it is by design.
The men of Scotland, where are Scottish men? Where are the UK's men?
Scotland used to be a home to savage warriors. Now they're well. To be fair, Scotland is now home to a different kind of savages.
And if they can be thrown into jail, and I would ask this. I would ask this girl's father a very simple question. I will ask this girl's father a very simple question. Would you give your life for your family?
You are wrong, Netflix Foreign. Netflix Foreign says, Leon, you have to understand that some of the elites sympathize with the guy because they're of like mind. No. No, the reason the elites side with this guy is because this is part of a globalization, a global homo propaganda piece to make you bow and kowtow under their boot, under their control. They don't side with this guy. They're not of a like mind. They don't sympathize with him. He is a tool. He is a pawn in their efforts to further a global domination. That is what this is. This dude is a number to them. Does not matter in the slightest. Like there's no world in where the global elites actually give a fuck about these migrants, just like they don't give a fuck about the safety of children. No, these are just tools for them to further their globalist agenda. I don't give a fuck how Alex Jones that sounds. It is true.
Would you give your life for your daughter? And I'm 100% sure, 100% sure, the guy is Scottish. He will answer yes.
It doesn't matter. That's still wrong. They don't care. Look, they're not of a like mind, and that they care about the lowly pedo, or that's no. They don't care about anybody but themselves. They don't sympathize with anybody but themselves. It doesn't matter if it's a white pedo or a migrant pedo. Point is, if you are not of the same global elite cabal, they don't give a fuck. You're just a tool. Doesn't matter how many proclivities they share with them. Sunday Woo for a 5 and says, oh, Leon using big words to see the UK headed for revolution. I hope so. I doubt it, but I hope so. I would love to be wrong about the UK being salvageable. I don't think the UK is salvageable at all. I think they are done for. But I would love to be wrong about that. Sunday Woo, it's for you, brother.
I'm loving the game. The game would absolutely get a pretty high score from me.
How many bananas?
A solid 8.5 incher for sure.
That's I didn't what? No.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Totally appreciate it, homie. Let's keep going.
Of course, I would give my life for my family. Then explain to me, like I'm retarded, how did your country went to shit like this? Explain to me how you allowed your country to go down the drain. And this is not recent. This has been decades in the making. This has been happening for at least 10 years.
I would say, I don't know how it works in the UK, nor do I really care because I don't care about the UK. But this has been in the making since at least the 60s in America. 100%. We are about 60 years into, if not more, 60, 70 years into this propaganda being normalized and forced in America. I would imagine if it is a global cabal of elites, it's probably the same in the UK, but I don't know.
Minimum.
What up, Zombie Box?
All this sexual assaulting gangs. You're telling me that this is a new problem and now you can't do anything about it? I can understand that because that's one of the things I explained on that video I mentioned, how governments use illegal immigration to control you. And my solution is always the same. The only winning move is not to play. You cannot win or, let's say, beat the Abrodians because you're going to jail. And who's going to protect your family if you're in jail? You
That's true, Paul.
The government because you have voted the Tories and voted Labour, and both of them are either malignant or cooks, and they have led the country to where it's right now by design, on purpose. The invasion is on purpose. It's that simple. Thanks, Tony Blair. So what do if you're willing to give your life for your family? And I will always tell you the same thing. I'm pretty sure that you're very good. You have a unique set of skills, just like Liam Neeson in Taken. It's time to find out how can you use that unique set of skills to get your family out of the country.
And that very well might be the only action, the only recourse. Get them out of the country. Frankly, I know I jokingly said the other day on a stream, hey, UK, you may as well pack it up and come here. But I'm going to be real, I don't fucking want you guys. I don't. Because y'all let this happen. Y'all are still a bunch of, at least compared to us, libtards that are A-okay with sacrificing freedom for safety. So I really don't want you. Go to Greece or something. Go to Greece. Go to fucking China, for all I care. I don't know. I don't give a shit. But don't come here and bring that weakness here. We got enough of that as it is.
And I can imagine so many of you telling me, oh, Jesus, buddy, that is cowardice. You cannot do that. What if everybody just leaves? I am not saying that everybody's going to leave, because I'm pretty sure that not everybody is going to leave. But this message is for a very small
I haven't either,
section
Jamma.
of the
I'm waiting for some as well.
who might have the idea or have the realization that no, you cannot.
You should be, Zombie Box.
The
You truly should be.
at this game. Because the Abrodians are actually sanctioned and protected by your government. The government that you might say that you voted in, or others voted in, or they cheated and got in. Whatever you want to make of it, whatever it was the way your government is in power is meaningless. You don't do anything with that. The fact is that government is protecting the Abrodians, and the Abrodians are out to sexually assault and kill your wife, your daughters, your sisters, your mothers, everyone, and kill your sons. It's that simple. It is that simple. It is as simple as that. So,
I disagree with Zach's. All right, I disagree with Dax. Zombie Box, you should feel embarrassed. You should feel embarrassed. Not just because you're government, but because the people that are not in your government that are not standing up and doing anything about this. Don't be embarrassed about yourself. If you're standing up and you're saying shit and whatnot, take pride in what you're doing. But feel embarrassed to be British, because last I checked when we watched this video, ain't a single man, not government or otherwise, stood in to try and help those girls.
Is that okay? You say that you want to stay and fight.
I don't know if that's relevant, to be fair, Netflix foreign.
But explain to me again if I don't know, have a mental disability. If you are willing to give your life for your family, if you are willing to stay and fight, then how come this girl felt the need to bring a knife and a hatchet with her?
I'd say Paul is entirely
to
correct.
defend herself. You understand, right? The contradiction.
Netflix foreign. Paul answered it for you, though. I mean, that is the correct answer.
This is her realization that nobody will defend her. Nobody. Not even her father, who knows, maybe he's in jail. We don't know anything about this family. But what we do know...
And we're not going to find out anything about this family. We're not going to find out anything about this family because the government is going to put the kibosh on it. Reporters aren't going to be allowed to report on it, or at least not going to be allowed to report on it truthfully. Reporters aren't going to be allowed to report on it. There's going to be no articles written about it. The outrage is going to come from places like here in the U.S. where we're allowed to say these are fucking monsters. These are invaders. They are harming and killing and raping and victimizing the women and frankly the men as well of the UK. We will not know anything else, because they will not be allowed to report on anything else. This story is going to be hot news for about a week. We're all going to talk about how incredible this girl is, and then it's going to go by the wayside because no outflow of information about this will be allowed.
Is that Scottish men, UK men, have failed the country. This is the symbol of that. And you simply cannot avoid that reality. You can complain, you can dislike this video, you can do whatever you want.
Correct, DB.
You can, oh, what does he know? But that reality is a fact. It's happened, and it's here. Now the big question that I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do about it? As usual, my comments are open for every single opinion that you might have about this. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy. Much love and bliss.
Brilliant video. Brilliant video. Unfortunately, I do not think we will end up hearing more on this unless we've got some real brave-ass reporters in the UK that are willing to go against the grain and publish these stories. And even then, you ain't going to find it on Google. You're going to have to use different social media. You're going to have to use DuckDuckGo, or search engines. You're going to have to use DuckDuckGo, or you're going to have to use the Brave browser or something like that. Because more information about this is not going to come out on Google because it's going to be a suppressed story because of the outrage. You might not see it on X, not because X is going to censor it, but because it won't even make it to X. Because the people who are going to try and talk about it might themselves be arrested for fucking hate crimes. If they arrested a motherfucker for shouting that he loves bacon, they certainly will be willing to arrest motherfuckers who are in support of this gal right here. It's truly disgusting. So yeah, like, subscribe, and I will definitely be covering this more if we get additional information on it. Son Ning-woo for a 5-banger says Europe as a whole is headed for a fight they might not win. It's going to be a spectacle to see they fight back against global tyranny. I don't think they will. I don't think they got the spines for it. I don't. I think this is the route they're headed down.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
But I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. Thank you for the 5-banger, Son Ning-woo. Absolutely appreciate it, homie. You didn't need to. You did. It means the absolute world to me. But we're not done dunking on the UK quite yet. No. Many more dunking will commence. Britain's new social credit system. This was recommended by Amazingly Fantastically Brilliant. All right. Let's find out. Let's find out if they're going with the good old Chinese route.
There appears to be no particular end to the potential tyranny of a Labour government. And Pete Hitchens did warn us, but man, nobody, I think, saw this coming, right? But the thing is, this isn't entirely of their own making either. As you can see here, pub and travel bans proposed under sentencing rule changes. So what this means is that Shabana Mahmood, I believe her name is, not that I don't know what her name is, the point is, can I pronounce it correctly? For some reason, they're not even listing her name. But she is the Justice Secretary. And
EB for a 2-banger. Here's your $2 for the news. Better off dead. You'll love to see it. Thank you so much, brother. See, that's a comment. I understand why it's censored. YouTube probably wouldn't let you fucking send that because the word dead was in there. Because YouTube was fucking retarded in that regard. Yeah, YouTube. Keep up with the censorship stuff.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Thank you so much, EB. Absolutely appreciate it, my man.
She is proposing that if you commit a crime, rather than you just serving the sentence as normal, there could be extra punishments added to this in order to, I assume, disincentivize you from committing further crimes. And the thing is, this is kind of
not just you. Disincentivize others from for doing certain crimes. I'm vehemently against this. I am. Any sort of, if you go to jail, you go to prison, you're tried, convicted, the whole 9, then you have served your time. You get out. That should be the end of it. That should be the end of it. Prison. Plus, the idea of prison should be, reformation, should be trying to, reform the individuals. We know they ain't so great at that, but that's the general idea. Once you're out, you have supposedly paid your debt to society.
People convicted of crimes in England and Wales could find themselves barred from going to pubs and sports matches as part of changes to sentencing rules. Courts imposing community sentences would have the power to hand out driving and travel bans under legislation expected to be introduced next month. The sentencing bill is also likely to include plans to restrict the use of short prison sentences to ease overcrowding, as well as introduce a scheme to release some well-behaved inmates early. Remember, on day 1, Keir Starmer let out a bunch of criminals, including a murderer, who went on to murder again. But this, you can see, is such a. I mean, this is really short-sighted.
That's the thing, Cryptic Manga. They after you get out of prison, after you get out of jail, after you get out of whatever, you will still have extra rules set upon you because you broke the law. It doesn't matter that you weren't able to go to sports games for the last 10 years or whatever because you were in prison. No, now that you're out, you're effectively still in prison. You're just in an open-air prison instead. You're in an open-air prison where you are unable to live your life, again, reformed or following the law or whatnot. Sorry, sucks to suck.
Let's be clear, in the best case scenario.
Correct, Genty Maxi. Not everyone can be reformed. I agree with that.
This just looks overtly tyrannical. If you, I don't know, didn't pay a fine or something or stole something from a shop, you're then banned from going to watch the football match.
That is correct as well, Cryptic.
Whenever after you've served your sentence, that is crazy and so intrusive. This is the sort of thing I would expect the communist Chinese government to do. Not,
I called it. I said this is China.
The British Labour government, but actually, this is what I'd expect the British Labour government to do. But this is crazy. But the thing is, of course, it was
catch you later,
made
Jamma.
off the back of a bunch of recommendations by a Conservative. Because the Conservatives and the Labour Party, not really very different. Now, it is true that at the moment, as they say, courts are currently able to impose limited bans on people convicted of certain offences. So if someone is found guilty of violence at a football match, they can be banned from stadiums, which, okay. But for this, they want to impose it for a wider range of offences, meaning offenders could face additional penalties unrelated to their specific offence. So they're just going to start adding things on. Arbitrarily, it must be, since you couldn't... I mean, if someone keeps getting into fights at a football stadium, fine, you're banned from going to that football stadium. That makes sense. That's not arbitrary. There is a logical causal connection to the...
No, I still say that's fucked up. And it's fucked up because it's the government doing the barring. Now, I'm a big proponent of private businesses being able to do what they want. There's a vape shop I go to in town, local vape shop, right? And it's got pictures up on the wall of a dude who's banned from the store. Why? Because he came in and he tried to rob the motherfucker. They banned him from the store. It was the store, though, that made the executive decision to ban him. Not the police, not the local government, the store. I do not agree that the government should be able to, all right, we're banning you because you tried to rob this place. All right, so motherfuckers going to go try to rob somewhere else. Who's going to hit the same joint twice anyway? No, fuck that.
Crime and the punishment. But if you, like, I don't know, you do whatever. You tweet something, Lucy Connolly style, and suddenly you can't go to the pub. Suddenly you can't go to football matches. Suddenly this takes on a different aspect entirely, doesn't it? In fact, this starts to look like a way of persecuting a particular slice of society, the white English working class in particular, the people who like going to football matches and pubs. Again, if you go to these events, these places...
By the way, this is going to fuck up your economy. This will absolutely... So imagine they start painting with a real broad brush. People start getting arrested for fucking tweets like they already are, or saying they love bacon. Imagine Homeboy got arrested for saying I love bacon, right? And this is a widespread thing in the UK. People getting arrested for goddamn nonsense, like that little 14-year-old girl being arrested for brandishing an axe because her life was in danger. You start painting with this broad brush and start putting these extra limitations on people, guess what? Now they're not spending the money at the pub. They're not spending the money at the local stadiums where they play ball. Who's going to take that up? Who's going to buy the tickets instead? Not these fucking Muslim invaders. They don't give a fuck about your soccer game. And if they did, they were going to try and sneak in anyway. They weren't going to buy that shit.
You find, there is this kind of self-selected demographic here. These are the things that the white English enjoy doing. And so then it starts taking on a really sinister aspect.
Was that Futurama reference, Dax?
Like this is a way of specifically oppressing these groups. And I'm sure the Labour Party aren't even thinking about it. But then, can we talk about unconscious bias? Shabana Mahmood doing this? Does she go to the pub often? Does she go to watch football matches? Is she part of the group that are being targeted by these choices? And the answer is no, isn't it? This is something that is being imposed on the native population. Again, it's not like this was in a manifesto, and it's not like even the Labour Party won some sort of overwhelming legitimate victory, really. They got in by the skin of their teeth because Nigel Farage kicked the legs out from under the Conservatives. So they're acting in this draconian way, utterly draconian way, that again, I think there are legitimate questions about implicit bias on, in order to, frankly, oppress the native white British population. And it's so unbelievably cold.
You are correct, Matt.
The attitude towards it is, no. Look, the prisons are overcrowded. And the thing is, they did say, we're going to start deporting foreign prisoners. So good start. That's 12% of the prison population, by the way, just in case you didn't realize.
Yeah, Sinavir, I know the story you're referring to. If you carry an English flag, you are not allowed in because, carrying an English flag is fascism. And so even people that didn't carry English flags were like, well, fuck you, we're not coming back. Yeah, I know the story you're talking about. I thought about covering it.
It's made up of people, foreign nationals who commit crimes who just sat in our jails. It's just crazy.
I find myself wondering the same goddamn thing, Paul.
The issue is clearly that's not enough. And so, we just need to make it so fewer people go to prison. Well, can we just put social... can we just impose what is essentially a social credit system for the English working class? They've got to know their place. We've got to keep them down. We've got to keep them in line. And if they don't, then we're going to have it electronically tagged so they can't go to the pub, so they can't go to the football matches. And that's not going to be the end of it either. But, these are the two primary things that they think this constituency enjoys. And so, is that smart? Moreover, look at the framing on which she tweets this out.
Well, in a way, it is smart. In a way, it is smart because you are, you were creating a method of complete and utter rule over your population through dictatorial methods. Like from the people in power's perspective, this is smart. It is ensuring that their rule goes unquestioned. Hey, we all know how much y'all like to go to the Winchester, have a pint, and wait and let this whole thing blow over. Can't be doing that if you've been arrested even once for something as vague as a fucking tweet. Yeah? Yeah, this is actually incredibly smart, at least in the short term.
Break the law will take away the things you love. That's really vengeful. Like, if someone breaks the law, then they should be punished.
By the way, break the law will take away things you love. This is feminine warfare. To quote my boy Atreus, aka Lil Nas X, this is feminine warfare. This is that sort of vindictive bullshit that a dude would have never come up with. Like, a dude just break the law, and we will beat your ass with a billy club in public. Like that's how a dude handles this. This is straight up feminine mentality up in this bitch.
But the justice, you would think, ought to be impartial. Normally, and historically, it was meant to look, at least, the appearance of impartiality. It wasn't meant to look as if it was trying to penalize in an emotional sense. Like I really just feel that saying we'll take away the things you love is just really inappropriate. Like, threatening the population is probably not what the justice system should be for, and not really the way that things used to be done in the past. And also, like I said, it's completely arbitrary. It's like, right, if you...
By the way, this goes beyond that. Like, this is about public places and whatnot, but let's extrapolate this, right? Let's say that they take away the things you love. All right, let's look at a very big industry. Let's look at the video game industry. Imagine you go to prison, so they take away your video game privileges, and now they have to have a constant lock on your account so that you can't, like, go to the PlayStation Network and buy something digitally. Like, oh, I can't go to GameStop to buy the game, or whatever the fuck you guys have over in the UK. So instead, I'll have to buy my game, on the internet. I'll have to download it from the PlayStation Store. Nope, social crediting. We're monitoring your social credit. You don't even have access to PlayStation Network or Steam or whatever. The amount, how far this can go does not stop at physical locations.
You commit a hate speech crime, we're going to prevent you from going to the football. We're going to prevent you from going to the pub. It's like, I mean, obviously the draconian surveillance state, electronic surveillance state that we've been crafting is coming to full fruition. And this was the kind of thing that was always implicit in the premise anyway. They were always like, well, if we can track everyone, if we've got facial recognition, we've got cameras everywhere, and every transaction is electronic, so we can be in control of whether that transaction even happens.
What I said.
If you're the wrong kind of person, you don't get to do that transaction. That was all implicit in the digitalization of all of society.
Correct,
That was
Seabrew.
always there as a potential. It's just everyone's like, okay, they're not really going to do that.
In fact, I got a theory about VPNs. I don't know if this is true or not, but just so y'all know, I use a VPN. Obviously, VPN is the fucking GOAT, right? Yesterday, my computer was running like dog shit. I was like, what the fuck? Why? I ran a speed test, and my speed test was dog shit. So I restarted my computer, no dice. Restarted my router, no dice. So what the fuck? Nothing's changed. I use my PC for the same thing I always use it for. Playing video games, making YouTube videos. Scrolling X. What's going on? So I decided to turn my VPN off. My speed shot the fuck up back to what they're supposed to be. Why is my VPN, which has never caused an issue like this before, now acting weird? I don't know if there's any correlation to like the Online Child Safety Act and what the Brits are doing or anything like that. But it's real odd that in the last week, only a week after this shit was going down. Yo, thanks for the sub, Slim. It's real odd that only a week after this shit started going down about the VPNs and whatnot, all of a sudden now my computer starts acting fucky. And then I turn the VPN off and it's back to normal again. I don't know. That's real. Oh, yours too, Vicini. See, yours too. Yeah, VPN being attacked. I'm truly wondering. I am truly wondering. Because I've never had that issue. You would see a little bit of slowdown. Obviously, just pinging off a different part of the country or a different country or whatnot. I'd go from 600 megs to maybe 400 megs. That's minimal. That doesn't really do anything in the grand scheme of things. But I'm telling you, I was pulling 87 megs. I went from my normal speeds of 500 to 600 megabits per second down to 80. I probably can use... I know I can use it outside of my PC. I just haven't figured out how. I've never really thought about it. But yes, it can be used outside of my PC, Paul. So yeah, if we can figure that out, then we can watch the other pay-per-views.
But now they are going to do that. And they're going to do that in this kind of almost sadistic way. It's like, right, no, you fell afoul of one of our rules. I mean, and this could go for things that are apolitical, sort of, like violence, or it can be for things that are political, like things that you have said against the government or against the minority group or against an individual, whatever it is. This will be applied any way they like. And now we find ourselves actually trapped within the panopticon of the modern managerial bureaucratic state. And they're acting like this. That's pretty dark, I think. And I really think that if Farage wanted to be on the crest of the wave for once and to actually really shore up his popularity with people, making sure that this, whatever was put into place to allow this to happen, this bill that's going to be presented in the next coming months, saying, look, I'm going to kill this. I'm going to repeal this stone cold dead. The idea that the government can ban you, again, for something, it could be mortgage fraud or something. It could be something completely trivial, but they can just arbitrarily decide, no, right, that's it. We're banning you from society itself as your punishment. Again, the Chinese social credit system being made real for the English working class. Again, by someone who is not of the English working class. I just have to point out. This is just truly evil. And if Farage really wanted to shore up his credibility on this, he would just say, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this. There is no way I'm going to allow the government to just arbitrarily ban you from going to the pub or going to the football. That's just not on the table. That's un-English, frankly. That's dreadful.
I don't know. It sounds pretty English to me if you've been looking at the state that the UK has been going for a while now. That trajectory seems very fucking English.
Moreover, I feel that there hasn't been a great deal of thought that's been put into this by the Labour Party. Like, the reason I think that most countries aren't in revolution, and again, this is not a very controversial thing to say, it's an ancient axiom that everyone has known from time immemorial, that the population are kept happy by their bread and circuses. Well, the bread is getting pretty bloody expensive these days. And if you prevent people from engaging in their circuses, that is, the football and the pub, I think you'd probably see more civil unrest than not. And the thing is, you say, well, it's only one or two people. No, this could run into the tens of thousands.
I think he is entirely correct. Like, how many folk are placated by their entertainment and their food? As long as they got those two things, especially because when you see things like non-luxury items like video games and whatnot tend to actually spike in times of crisis, is because people are looking for distractions for whatever bad thing is going on in their life. You take away those distractions and they are forced to confront whatever negativity is in their face head on. You are in for a fucking rude awakening. I absolutely get the point he's making here. Yeah, this very well. Honestly, it's kind of making me think. Go for it. Do this, UK. Don't just stop at the fucking at the pub and the football games. Take away video games. Take away television. Take away free access to the park, assuming you guys even fucking have that. Take away people's ability to play musical instruments. Take all of it away. Do it tomorrow. Let's see how fast motherfuckers rise up. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. UK, I am addressing Keir Starmer, Nigel Farage. I'm addressing y'all personally. I want you tomorrow to take away all the rights of all of your citizenry. I think it'd be good for you. I think it'll help you win elections. I promise.
Remember, this could be for anything. I'm sure the football clubs are going to be like, okay, well, hang on a second. You've prevented 100,000 people from attending the football all across the country. I mean, that's money that we need, isn't it? We need their custom. Again, pubs that have been closing at a remarkable rate. If you prevent like 100,000 people across the country from going to the pubs, that's going to have a significant impact on the pubs themselves.
Well, Zombie Box, you used to have lovely parks. But now there's a lot of brown dudes raping 14-year-old girls in those lovely parks. It makes them not so lovely all of a sudden.
That's the point about the Labour Party. They don't care. That's not a consideration of theirs. What is a consideration of theirs is social control over the English working class. And again, notice they didn't say they're going to prevent you from going to upscale wine bars or eating at fancy gastropubs. It's not that they're not saying that someone's going to lose their access to avocado toast and imported wine. Obviously, even though, of course, the middle class commits different kinds of crime, the sort of white collar crime. This is aimed at a particular demographic.
Yes, it's aimed at the rabble.
And again, travel bans as well. You can't go to Magaluf, mate. Why? Because the government hates you, and they've decided that what you did was a crime, and they are going to make sure that Tommy Robinson, for example, can't leave the country for whatever reason. Can't go on holiday. Can't do this. Can't do that. So this is deeply, deeply sinister. And like I said, Farage would have a massive win if he just approached this from the opposite direction and said,
I hope it's more, Reaper. I hope it's more.
And there is already a punishment that fits the crime. As if the laws in this country are being properly enforced anyway. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of examples of crimes that just go uninvestigated because the state is completely uninterested in them. And yet they are interested in making sure that the white working class in this country are well under control. It just goes to show you who they are particularly interested in and who they actually believe the power to threaten their regime even resides in. This is revelatory, but it's also insane. And I think it'll turn into a massive Achilles heel for the Labour government when they end up doing this. And I think they will end up doing this, frankly. I think they will end up instituting this Chinese social credit system for the English working class. And I think eventually it'll come back to bite them in the rear.
UK's fucked, bro. UK's fucked. I cannot wait until September 13th or 14th or whatever. Because I cannot wait to report on that protest. Yeah, I mean, I've been following it. That's a Saturday. That's a Saturday. Yeah. Shit, I might cover that shit live. If there's any sort of live streams of it or anything happening. We got SNH that day. But we also got a Leon's Lunch Hour stream that day. I do the lunch hour on Saturdays. It might be a real good thing to cover because the UK is fucked. Some sinister, sick shit going on. Guy Fawkes Day gonna be lit this year. Yeah, I hope y'all have a 5th of November protest. Remember the 5th of November? That fucking protest. Hope y'all got riots. I hope y'all riot. Burn down every fucking mosque for all I give a fuck. That's the way I see it. Man, fuck all that. Fuck all that. Alright, I think we're gonna go long today. Because I got 2 more videos I want to react to. So you guys get yourself an extra treat. We're gonna go long. What up, Pixie Right? How you doing? So you're getting, the Unholy Alliance rule. Bingo, bango, bongo. Couldn't agree more. Alright, we're gonna go long. Consider it my gift to you. In response, send some super chats and some donos and shit. Kids are watching Nightmare Fuel. This was put in the Discord by, I believe, Little Miss Anonymous. Wanted me to react to it. That last video was from Amazingly Fantastic Brilliant. This one's your request, I believe from LMA. Let's find out what's going on. I don't watch the Culture War not the Culture War. What's it called? Yeah, Pop Culture Crisis. I know about it. I've seen a clip or two here or there, but I don't watch Pop Culture Crisis. So this will be a new one. Hey, C-Brew with that 2-banger. Thank you so much. C-Brew says thank you for going long. You can't keep getting away with it. You love to see it. I'll always go along for y'all. All right, let's check this out.
Guys, if you're parents, or even if you're not parents, you should be worried about the content that Gen Alpha is consuming online right now, usually unsupervised by their caregivers, because whether or not you're a parent, you are going to have to share a world with these people eventually, and the nightmare fuel AI-generated slop that they are being exposed to at a mass scale is going to break their brains permanently. This is something that I already knew was going on, but I hadn't seen it myself because this isn't my algorithm. There are basically tunnels of YouTube shorts that send children into the most nightmarish content you can think of. It's
all right. So, A, this sounds like Elsagate 2.0, but B, and this is less of a critique about the sort of content she's talking about, and more about short form content in general. I do not believe in short form content. There's a reason I don't put out shorts. By the way, I used to all the time, but I hate it. I hate it. Honestly, it would probably grow my channel exponentially if I put out shorts. Back when I used to put out shorts, I got hella subs off those shorts. But I find short form content to be so destructive. Bro, I am hard pressed to watch a video that's shorter than 15 minutes. Like, not even like on streams and whatnot, but off in my downtime. The way I operate, what I do is I usually pop on a video game. I've got my video game on this screen right here. I've got X or my Discord on this screen here. And then my screen off to the side that you guys can't see, I've got a YouTube video going. Right? And I am hard pressed to put on a video that's less than 15 minutes. Normally, I'm watching shit that's an hour or longer. I think short form content is damaging to not just the child psyche and not just the child brain, but to adults as well. Like that sort of ADHD level content is awful. I ain't gonna say it should be banned or outlawed or whatnot, because again, I don't believe in that sort of thing. People should make what they want, do what they want. But I do not want to add to what I consider to be probably the most destructive practice on YouTube, which is short form content. I do not have a TikTok. You know? Every now and again, you guys send me TikToks, and I'll watch them on stream. I don't have a TikTok. I'll upload to TikTok. Again, I could probably grow my channel and my account and my brand and whatnot exponentially if I use it, but I do not think it's worth it. I do not think that investing in that sort of cultural and mental degradation is worth, you know, the channel growth or anything like that. So, that's just my thoughts. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Depicting gore content, children being abused and beaten, animal abuse, sexual violence, just anything you could possibly imagine. It's there, but it's using AI-generated anthropomorphic characters to introduce children to these disturbing storylines, and because they're obviously so young, they're so curious about it, and it's thrilling.
Cindy says, so I couldn't talk you into seeing the short I just dropped. By the way, I know there are fellow creators out there that are buddies of mine that do make shorts, such as Cindy's. By all means, I'm not saying don't watch your favorite creators' shorts or whatnot. What I am saying is that, like, for example, Cindy sends me her shorts to get my opinions and whatnot before they go live. That's what, you know, creators do. We help each other out and whatnot. And I adore Cindy's shorts, and of course, I watch them to support her. However, the problem with shorts and gaining the notoriety of shorts, it creates a type of viewer that only consumes that content. And I never want to have viewers that would only consume my short form content. But yeah, I do think it's damaging. But again, Cindy drops a lot of long form content. So you know what? All things in moderation. Sonic Wolver at 2 bangers says, have a girthy banana for your treat.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Homie mentioned bananas, and I already played the banana clip from earlier, so I had to do that one instead. Thank you so much. C Brew with a 2-banger. Watch out, or sin will come all over your backside. I think that's a hint. I will come anywhere you want me to come.
All over his backside, run!
I want to fuck you in the ass right now. Thank you. It's nice to get some appreciation around here.
You'll love to see it. Thank you so much, guys. Truly appreciate you.
And they don't know that what they're encountering isn't appropriate for them, and their parents certainly are neglecting to pay attention to what their kids are being exposed to. So this guy on Instagram, he has started an experiment, basically. He's taking blank iPads, multiple blank unused iPads, and he is opening YouTube with a normal account. So to be clear, the YouTube Kids app is a separate platform entirely, and it doesn't have a Shorts feature on YouTube Kids.
Good. I did not know that. Good.
The YouTube that kids are actually watching is just YouTube, and they are using the Shorts feature on it. So his experiment is basically going through the mainstream kids entertainment on YouTube, which includes Coco Melon, Miss Rachel, the Paw Patrol videos. Like it or not, like these aren't the most edifying videos to show a child, but they're mainstream and generally considered acceptable and not inappropriate for kids. And then he waits to see how long it takes for this disturbing content to get exposed to his algorithm, and it kind of is happening without fail every time that he restarts this experiment. And he's thinking YouTube is going to need to come up with an answer for this. So here was day one of his experiment.
I don't want to hear anything from women about men not having unrealistic body standards after the abs on that cat.
This jacked bodybuilding cat.
Here we go.
All right. Hold on. I gotta disagree with this broad. Khajiit did nothing wrong. Khajiit is innocent.
Has not gone well. I wiped this iPad, created a clean YouTube account, then trained it for an hour of only auto-played Cocomelon videos before watching every YouTube short it suggested, all the way through in order. This was the first short, and it only went downhill from here. This is the second one, and we're getting cats.
Sorry, that was the first one shown. AI-generated infant getting devoured by fire ants.
Hey, what up, Fab?
Okay.
Unfortunately, you missed it. You'll need to go back and watch it. We did cover your Lotus Eaters video. Yeah, so you'll have to go back. But how you doing, girlie? Truly appreciate it. Late in the streams, I'm busy catching up. I'm about 15 minutes behind. Well, hopefully we see you soon, girlie.
Mom cat beats the kid cat, making it bloody, then abandoning it. Then we get a cat bombing a pond of geese to make a coat, then a very weird AI ad for Polybuzz trying to get kids to sign up for AI chatbots, and finally, the first real video we get is a kid wailing. Yes, those were the first 5 videos I saw after an hour of Cocomelon. At this point, YouTube has decided this will mostly be a cat account. This one fat shames the mom cat, so the dad cat helps the mom fit into the unreasonably sized dress.
That actually sounds like a great thing for kids to watch. Fat shaming is a good thing. We should absolutely fat shame. Also, what do you mean unreasonably sized dress? This is a completely normal and reasonably sized dress. This dude is Beta Timu Mark Zuckerberg.
Quick non-cat detours included Cuphead, saved from a fire, followed by a baby almost drowning but getting saved by Puppy, and
See that? I see plenty of that. I see the baby getting saved by the kitty.
Jesus, naturally.
I won't lie. I don't really know what's wrong with these. I'm gonna be real. I don't know what's wrong with these. Again, these aren't on YouTube Kids. I mean, I see the issue with that they're shorts, and shorts are disgusting. Yeah, he's also bleeping the words like a fucking pussy. Like, yeah, these are shorts, and shorts are disgusting. But these are on regular YouTube. So what? Be a parent and don't let your kids use regular YouTube. Like, I'm very confused as to why these are inherently an issue, aside from them being shorts. Catching up with being late. Glad Leon's reacting to what I posted yesterday. Absolutely.
Then a baby's mother dies and his dad finds a new woman, so the baby digs up the dead mom to cry over her dead body. Then we're back to our cat's feed, this time with demon babies being birthed and diarrhea followed by abusive cat dads. I've been scrolling shorts for 30 minutes, then had to put it away. I'm not looking forward to day 2, but I'm going to keep going because this is real. I know.
Again, I don't care if it's real. Who cares? This is fine. And kids are watching AI Nightmare Fuel. Okay, that's the name of this video. Okay. Don't let your kids fucking watch regular-ass YouTube. That's literally why kids exist. Or why YouTube Kids exists. I mean, like, the app. Some of these seemed mildly funny, if nothing else. Like, again, this isn't the same as Elsa Gate, where you had, like, Spider-Man and Elsa fucking and giving out, like... That was on YouTube Kids, if I recall.
No, the YouTube Kids app is the safer one. But kids aren't always watching that. They're going on Safari and looking up YouTube videos. So let's stop worrying about the boomers for a second and realize that the kids are at the highest risk. Day 1.
Cat.
Another comment asked who is prompting the creation of these AI videos. That's what I'm curious about.
Yep.
So he did a day 2 of the experiment just to see if, like, maybe he was jumping to conclusions. And it did the same exact thing after auto-playing Cocomelon videos.
YouTube started awfully. The very first video was a mom cat poisoning a dad cat who vomits while being bitten by a hit cat as the baby cat watches. I'll just play the second video. It's Nightmare Fuel, and it's the kind of video that I was warned about and inspired me to do this series. It has...
I'll be real, guys. I'll be real. I don't see any issue with this even with kids. Again, aside from the fact that it's short form. Like, think about Grimm's fairy tales and whatnot. Like, Grimm's fairy tales were full of dark shit. Why? Because it was lessons for children to not be fucked up kids, to not go off on your own, things like that. Think of the movies we had in, like, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, like Watership Down and Beetlejuice, and, like, they had all this terrifying imagery in it. Movies like The Witches or Return to Oz. Like, kids can handle scary shit. In fact, it teaches them. I'll be real. Thus far, I don't have any issues with this content, aside from the fact that it is shorts. This is... Am I crazy here? I don't really see this as a big deal.
42 million views and manages to pack in multiple awful and abusive storylines all into one short. I need to remind you that this YouTube account mostly watches Cocomelon videos. And 2 videos later, it will serve me a Paw Patrol Academy ad. The algorithm still thinks this is a kid's account. The third video was an abusive AI dad who is revenge poisoned by cat piss-infused Coca-Cola, and the next videos were
Wait, why Coke? That's the real question. Who did Coke piss off to get used for poison?
So weird AI ones. I know
Pepsi,
that awful kids content isn't new, but AI videos have an incredible scale. It's overwhelming. They're incredibly weird and completely lack transparency. Then the algorithm took a sudden turn, focusing on more traditional brain rot children's content like pet videos and weird animations. AI capybaras saving people from scary floods was the new pattern. Then it
I kind of love that.
I see parents allowing their kids to watch this is a problem, but the content itself I have nothing against. It's just bad parenting. Well, again, I think it's bad because it's short form. If you turn some of these stuff into long form stuff with a message to it, like older scary things used to have for kids, I don't see an issue. I really don't. Shrapnel called it moral fagging. Yeah, I agree.
Kind of down with being saved by a
I
capybara.
kind of love the capybara heroes, but
yes.
Yeah, this isn't near as horrible as Elsa Gate.
Actually, but this seems to just correlate with it showing me more experimental videos with fewer views. So I want to introduce some more variables tomorrow. I'll start by watching some Mario videos, but would love your suggestions.
Okay, so in the next one, he encounters video that he calls Italian brain rot, and there is a character in these Italian brain rot videos.
Agreed, player one. Agreed.
Cappuccina. It's just a cup. She's a teacup, and
That's not the argument I'm making at all, Dax. If that's what I don't know if you're trolling me or not, but if that's the argument you think I'm thinking, that's retarded. Like, my argument from the beginning was short form content is inherently bad. regardless of the regardless of
disturbing.
the age or whatnot of an individual. And then my additional argument is that the things that this dude, and by extension these two, are morally grandstanding about aren't actually that big a deal. Like, the content is not the problem. The length of the content is the problem. Well, yeah, only hearkening back to my argument that we've had content like this in long form for the entirety of human existence. Greek tragedies, the Brothers Grimm stories, even movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like, basically, it's not the content that's the problem, it is the length of the content. I was just literally harkening back to that point.
Videos. Let's take a look.
Ballerina Cappuccino took me from Bluey to an AI video that depicts the worst thing I can imagine on a kid's feed, and somehow I'm still shocked despite this being day 10 of these tests. Like always, I wiped this iPad. It's my 3rd time doing it, and I created a YouTube account and trained it on kids' videos.
Also, I don't believe, like, he might think he wiped the iPad, but I'll be real. I doubt it's actually wiped. I'm not saying that he's lying about it being wiped. What I mean is I doubt you can truly wipe an iPad. Ain't no way that Apple is going to let all that data and Amazon, Apple, Walmart, the U.S. fucking government, there's ain't no way they're going to let that precious data go to waste. You can probably, I've got no way to back this up. I don't know if it's true. But you can probably get the perception of wiping one of these devices, but it stores that shit, whether it be in a cloud or in Apple's data servers or whatnot, in a way that it's not truly wiped.
So
In fact, if you wanted to do this test properly, you would use multiple different iPads fresh off the showroom floor. So you would turn the iPad on, you would train it, and you do your day 1. Day 2, you would use a completely different iPad, fresh off the showroom floor, that you open, you do it again. Bingo, bingo, bong. That's how you would actually train this. I've got my doubts that that wiping it actually matters.
Regular YouTube app, not the YouTube Kids app, because regular YouTube is 15 times
correct,
more
Matt,
popular
exactly.
for kids. And when I would go back and forth between short and long form videos, the shorts were fine. I was getting mainstream arts and crafts videos with no harmful AI videos. Then I searched for Ballerina Cappuccino, and that was all it took. If you don't know about Italian brain rot, it's very popular for kids. And after just watching 3 of those shorts, I went back to the homepage, and the first video was fine, but then the second video was a cat video. Like instant. I literally cannot tell you or show you what's in this video. I'll show little snippets that are not the graphic part, but there is a scene depicting the worst type of act towards a woman. Yeah, it's really bad, and it's wrapped in this sort of AI cat package. And from here on out, the next 20 shorts were noticeably worse than before I had searched for anything brain rot related. I try to focus on algorithms in AI videos.
But that's the thing. Algorithms. Algorithms are still just machines. Like, it's just machine learning. If you're starting with something called brain rot, which is a negative and something that kids shouldn't be watching in general, yeah, you're gonna get more negative. Like, this basically being like, oh, we should be horrified that Happy Tree Friends exists because kids can say, well, no, Happy Tree Friends isn't for kids. However, algorithms aren't inherently smart. The algorithm could lead you to Happy Tree Friends if you're watching, like cute animal stuff, because the algorithm just sees cute animals with little context. There's no way that I understand algorithms better than Mark Zuckerberg here. This is a retarded argument.
Stay away from parenting advice because I don't have kids, but I could not help but think about those Italian brain rot toys and how cultivating a kid's interest in this is a Trojan horse for other more harmful
get the
AI
fuck
videos.
out of here with your moral grandstanding. Oh, it's a Trojan horse. Dude, shut the fuck up. Again, these spineless bitches, because this is a right-wing show, mind you. Yeah, Pop Culture Crisis is a right-wing show. These spineless bitches are just as pro-moral grandstanding about censorship issues as long as it's stuff that they agree with as the left. Fuck out of here.
Because the YouTube algorithm doesn't know the difference. I need to show you how.
Okay, so one of the top comments here says, my little sister has a ballerina cappuccino plush. I told her I didn't like it and she had a meltdown because she's obsessed with AI content. I wish there was a way I could block AI videos from her YouTube entirely. First of all, you can actually force the child to use the kids' version of the app, which wouldn't have shorts. You could also try taking care of a kid and giving them toys to play with or activities instead
This is the first sensible thing they've said so far.
of forcing them to spend hours in front of a screen because they don't know any better.
And most likely what happened is they gave them, like, regular YouTube at first, not realizing...
YouTube can talk about cracking down AI all they want. YouTube is owned by, you know, Alphabet, owned by Google, who has invested billions into AI. Why would they crack down on something that they themselves have invested billions in? That doesn't make any sense. When YouTube says they're cracking down on AI, that's just a lie to placate the stupid masses who are anti-AI.
If there was how much of a difference there was, and now the kid will never want to go back to using regular.
Right, exactly. Like once, in a way, it's like they're searching for the same fear-based response, the adrenaline response of seeing these videos. Yep. It's addicting in a very unique way. And I don't like that he's making excuses for Cocomelon specifically, because Cocomelon is engineered just the same way to be as addictive as possible for children.
I mean,
we talked about it actually, that they do experimental.
Yeah, they're owned by Timcast. Yeah,
child viewers at the parent company, which is called Moonbug Entertainment. They have audience research where they bring in children to their headquarters and they show them a handful of Cocomelon episodes to figure out exactly.
By the way, they're owned by Timcast, and which I find hilarious because 6,000 views in 2 days, but 371,000 subs. These guys coast on being owned by Timcast and having the Timcast name. Bro, I've got videos that do better than these guys with my 8,000 fucking subs. And if we were to break it down in terms of ratios, my not even 8,000 subs, but getting 2,000 or 3,000 views a video blows these guys out of the water. It's actually insane how much nobody gives a fuck about Pop Culture Crisis.
Which parts of their shows are engaging and which are tuned out. For anyone older than 2 years old, the team deploys the tool called Distractatron, which is a small TV screen placed a few feet from the larger one that plays a continuous loop of banal real-world scenes. A guy pouring a cup of coffee, someone getting a haircut, etc., each lasting about 20 seconds. Whenever a youngster looks away from the Moonbug show to glimpse at the Distractatron, they...
I've watched a few episodes of Pop Culture Crisis. I don't care. I about their show. I don't like it. I think that it's like, I'll watch Timcast now and again. You know, like I used to watch Timcast religiously. In my opinion, Timcast kind of really fell off. But yeah, no, I'll watch Timcast. Timcast occasionally. But yeah, I just don't like Pop Culture Crisis. It seems like just a you know how G4 when they came back was just like super high production value like overly polished television stuff, but on YouTube. Like they were trying to recapture the magic of old G4, but it felt so artificial and obviously very left-leaning. This is the same on the right. Like, to me, Pop Culture Crisis just feels like an artificial version, an overly polished, overly produced version of what Hypno does and what I do and what Smash JT does. To me, it's just so hollow.
Down a note, there needs to be something tweaked in this episode so that it keeps them engaged without pause. So constant jump cuts, brighter colors, more noises, you know? They are engineering Cocomelon, which is mainstream.
What up, Hugo? What up, Isaac?
Just the same way as these AI videos are keeping them hooked. So I don't like that he is saying, "Oh no, Cocomelon's just fine. You can sit your kid in front of Cocomelon for 12
Happy to do
hours.
it, Dax.
Nothing bad is going to happen." No, the kids just need to stop staring at iPads. Like, the solution is so obvious. It's right in front of your face. It's closer to your face than the iPad. So
Correct. That is entirely correct. So why are you crashing out about these fucking AI videos in the first place? Oh, right, because you can't do a 20-minute segment on that.
Video is one where he's kind of asking what YouTube is going to do about this, and he's talking to the parents in his audience. So here's what he said.
Told you I got these awful AI Kids videos after resetting this iPad with a kids account, going to YouTube on Safari, watching almost 4 hours of long-form children's videos, then watching every YouTube short it suggested all the way through. You might not believe this is where it goes, but it's the second time I tested this in 3 days with the same result. Yeah, I have a bunch of iPads. This is not good. I tried resetting the algorithm by watching more wholesome content, but it leads to the same dark place. Look at this suggested list. This is nuts. Bluey and Miss Rachel next to ants digging their way out of an AI cat's belly, and these freaky shorts. The algorithm is broken. Completely broken, and it makes this inevitable because this scary AI
the algorithm isn't broken. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's just not doing it well. Like, so again, algorithms they're just collections of effectively learned data from key points, right? You see the word cat a lot. You see the word baby a lot. You see the word children a lot. It's just gonna give you shit with cats and children and babies. Like, it doesn't analyze every second and every frame of the data. That would take so much more resources. No one wants to no one wants to put forth the money and the time and effort for an algorithm that does that. So no, this makes sense. It sucks and it's dumb, but it makes sense. So it's not broken. It's literally operating as intended. It's just the way it's intended sucks.
Kids, but they're so curious and they keep watching. YouTube might say that the YouTube Kids app fixed this because it doesn't have shorts, but they cannot deflect this problem to parents and assume that they have the media literacy or control.
Yeah, you're correct, Genty Maxi. Exactly.
Designated app. Kids just go to Safari and type YouTube because it's the most popular kids site, and its algorithm has been broken by scary and addicting AI videos targeting kids.
Well, there's nothing the parents can do about it.
Yeah.
They don't have media literacy. They don't know about AI.
Yeah.
They don't know that their kid can search something on a Safari app instead of using an app.
Yeah.
That's not what media literacy means. Don't talk about media literacy if you know how to properly use the term media literacy.
If you're that dumb, you legitimately shouldn't be a parent.
Body horror.
Yeah, there was, Paul, at a Catholic church.
Yeah, and side note, I'm disturbed that whatever AI video generating platforms these people behind these channels are using are able to be prompted to make videos of babies dying or getting abused.
Yeah.
How is that not regulated? I thought that all of these platforms people were using to generate AI video were regulated at least to stop you from prompting violent scenes like that.
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, she is incredibly annoying, Zombie Box. She is incredibly annoying. Still would, though. Still would.
Right. Yeah, who is this for? It's for children, obviously, but I mean, certainly there are adults also watching
exactly,
content
Fab,
as well
exactly.
on YouTube. But here's the thing, like, he's taking the blame off the shoulders of the parents. Simply don't give the kid an iPad. Do not leave babies alone with iPads. Do not give them unfettered internet access. It's really not that complicated. It might be difficult, especially if you've become accustomed to having your kid supervised by an iPad for years. It will be difficult to change that, but it doesn't have to be like this. Like, it's a very simple solution that no one is willing to say because everyone gets their feelings hurt, especially millennial parents, I've noticed, get their feelings hurt about this topic.
Well, this will be better advice for the ones who haven't become parents yet that can hopefully start from scratch and not have to go through the uphill battle of battling back against already having kids raised on this type of stuff, and then having to have that traumatic experience for the kids of it being taken away from them, much like a crackhead when they take away the crack. Or the
kids also imitate everything they see. So if they're watching videos of abuse or sexual violence, what do you think they're going to do in real life? They're going to imitate what they see.
Again, bullshit. That has been proven time and time again to not be true. If that were true, then the video games cause violence argument would actually be true. But we have done study after study after study on that, and it's not true. Jesus Christ.
I also saw another creator point out that well-known published children's books are not only being used as a prompt for AI, but they're just being straight up stolen by AI-generated YouTube content. This guy found one example.
New fear unlocked. Just unlocked a new fear about AI as I was sitting here with my kid because my wife left me for the day. She left me for the day. She'll be home tomorrow. She needed time to go hang out with friends. And I said, go, I have the baby. But when you have the baby, that means the baby has you. And he grips your brain and he tires you out. And you do eventually what all parents do, which is you turn to a screen and you say, enjoy 5 minutes with the screen. In this case, my television, right? Babies can watch YouTube on television. That's fine. I put on the YouTube Kids.
Not fine.
I figured this will be great. You know what happened when I opened up the YouTube Kids? I go and I open it up and I see a thing that I recognized from before. I see this thumbnail, which is an exact copy of this book, which I read to my kid all the time. Every parent of a toddler has these first 100 words books. I see this, first 100 words, first 100 animals. I say, let's go. It's just gonna be somebody reading this book, right? Wrong, the whole thing is AI. It's all AI. They've stolen literally the art from the fucking book, word for
I do not care. I'll be real. I could not care less. Whether it's an AI or a real person reading it or whatnot, I don't give a fuck. Moral grandstanding about AI is so goddamn stupid.
word bar for bar, but the AI baby voice is mispronouncing shit while they're showing fake AI moving images to my kid who now believes they're real. And I wouldn't blame any parent for falling for this because it is almost exactly the same thing, but they used AI so that way they can't get caught on the fact that they've stolen these images directly. And you can tell because look how that isn't a word. There's actual words in the real original image, but those aren't real words. And then
just
as you start to watch this thing and you get a little bit deeper into it, it shows you AI images of moving things. Like what? That's not how you pronounce that. That's not real. That's not.
See, it's worse. Back in the day, if your kid ended up stupid because you were stupid, that was one thing. Now the kid could end up stupid because you just weren't smart enough to, like, you know, catch out the charlatans.
Right.
If you're a parent now, you are stuck because you need to make sure that you understand and know where the information that is being put into your toddler's head is coming
Dax,
from.
I'm living for the Futurama
Right
references
you
today.
need to go to trusted sources. Like, I trust Miss Rachel. I trust Sesame Street. But hey, here's a fun thing I noticed about that exact channel that I was just showing you. That same channel's ripping off Miss Rachel. This is her exact book. Well, I read this to my kid all the time. They ripped off her book too, and she's a trained childhood educator. And
who fucking cares? Bro, I'll be real. I'm real. This sort of shit for kids is gay anyway. Show them Terminator. Show your kids fucking Terminator. Fuck this basic bitch kids learning gobbledygook. Kids didn't have this shit in the fucking 1800s, and they grew up like wrangling hogs and writing constitutions and shit. Fuck this. This is gay. Show your kids the goddamn Terminator.
they're teaching kids how to speak wrong, which is her exact mission. I want you to think of all the possible ways to pronounce this word.
Uh-oh, they're gonna get me on this one.
Milk.
Think of all the possible ways that Miss Rachel would pronounce this word right here. You ready for it? I don't think you are. Millions of views of faceless AI.
I'm gonna be real. In both instances, mobile, milk, it sounds like it just has an accent that's not pronouncing the L. which is actually fairly common in certain accents. Like, I'm gonna be real. It left out the L in both instances, which, yeah, in proper English isn't correct. But accents, when you learn a second language, I have that all the time. Like, it consistently just did it with the word L. It left out the L in both instances. That just sounds like an accent to me.
Channels making our kids stupider every single moment of the day, making money off of them. But meanwhile, I'll need to upload my ID if I want to hear Haley Williams songs because she curses during them. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I'm just crying over spilt meek. Hey, so
Okay, so he's a content creator. He wrapped it all up into a bow at the end with that. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, well, you guys certainly didn't wrap it up into a bow. That video fucking sucked. That was just, again, yeah, moral homoeroticism. Jesus Christ. Pop Culture Crisis is, again, as someone that does cover pop culture news daily, that's just the lowest common denominator of right-wing wokeism. Alright, we got one more video. This was recommended by our very own Daxinar, best mod in the whole damn land, Daxy. Why Zelda and Sonic fans hate Game Grumps. We're going to end it on a light note. 6,000 subs, 56,000 views. Well fucking done. Good job, Jax Melancholy. That being said, I don't know that this is true. So I wouldn't say I'm a Game Grumps fan. I used to be quite the Game Grumps fan. I was one of the, they were content creators that I watched a lot years ago. But I haven't watched them in ages, mainly because once YouTube started getting really, hardcore censorship heavy, they really softened their comedy. It was absurd how much they softened their comedy, and I don't like that bullshit. That being said, I've seen Game Grumps live. I've seen Ninja Sex Party live. Ninja Sex Party is one of my favorite bands, actually. Top 5, if not top 5, definitely top 10. So, as someone that used to be an avid fan, and who was also a massive fan of Zelda and Game Grumps, I don't know why Zelda or Game Grumps fans would hate, or why Sonic and Zelda fans would hate Game Grumps. So, let's go ahead and let's do some just light, easy listening to wrap up the show. And for you to give you guys time to send your final donos and memberships.
The Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo 64 is not only one of the first video games I ever played, but also one of my favorites. While I concede that it hasn't aged as well as the Super Nintendo games before it, or the GameCube games that followed, it's safe to say that most people still regard Ocarina of Time as a masterpiece. I've played every game.
It is legitimately one of the single greatest games of all time. I will hear no questions.
The series, and consider myself to be a huge fan. It's probably my third favorite game series behind Resident Evil and Ace Attorney. However,
I know Dax says that this guy's video sucks, and it might. Well, based Resident Evil fan is based.
Growing up, I didn't have many acquaintances who loved Zelda as much as me. My friends were into Halo, Pokemon, Mario, and Call of Duty. Throw in the fact that my household didn't have a proper internet connection until around 2009. It's no wonder that I felt like the only Zelda fan in the world.
Hey, thank you much,
Little did I know
Netflix.
that YouTube was soon going to foster a huge gaming community. Suddenly, there were dozens of videos discussing Zelda. In-depth timeline speculation, listicles, speedrunning, and information regarding the games previously unknown or untranslated. It felt like I could finally share my enjoyment of Zelda with others. As the 2010s kicked off, Let's Play channels were in their prime. I watched Achievement Hunter.
Matt, you say you have a signed copy of The Prophecy. Did it come with this? Do I have it? Where is it? Yeah. Did it come with, here, let me, this right here? The NSP Superfan, pin? So, a buddy of mine, Gallium Raven, she did the pre-order and whatnot, and it came with, like, Friendship NSP Superfan pins, and, so she gave me the other one. The intro is completely unnecessary. I hate it when video essays, yeah, I hate that as well.
Markiplier, PewDiePie, but there was one Let's Play channel I watched more than all of them combined.
Hey, I'm Grump. I'm not so Grump. And we're the Game Grumps.
It's highly likely that Game Grumps doesn't need an introduction, but for the sake of historical preservation, and for the three of you watching this in 2050, Game Grumps is a Let's Play channel on YouTube founded in 2012 by YouTuber John Jafari, aka JonTron, and animator Egoraptor, aka Aaron Hansen. The two of them would play games and banter, having great chemistry. Chemistry which would only be topped by the connection between Aaron and Dan Avidan, a musician who took over as co-host in 2013, replacing JonTron. The story of why Dan took over as Not So Grump is irrelevant to our discussion today, but I'm sure there are plenty of videos covering the topic if you're interested. Regardless,
I won't lie, I'm not interested in the topic whatsoever. It's been done to death.
Of the era, the appeal of Game Grumps was and still is feeling like
that was a wise choice, fantastically.
Two friends and riffing on video games. This formula may be on the decline as of writing this video. However, the Grumps still pull in a big audience. So of course, when the Game Grumps decided to
Leon, what do you think of there being a charity that would be like Gideon's except giving out free Bibles? It would just be copies of 1984, putting them in hotel rooms, just giving them out. I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. I'm a Christian. I've never once read the hotel Bible. Like, people gonna read 1984 on their own or they're not. I won't lie. I think more people should read it, but I don't. Yeah, I don't really care. I think that I don't know that a charity like that would do much.
play through the Zelda series, I had to be there. Two of my favorite internet personalities, playing some of my favorite games of all time. Watching those playthroughs was immensely enjoyable. I'm
yeah, they do.
fond of their Wind Waker
Literally all the hotels I've
Despite
been to
being
in my life
relatively
had
new
them,
to
including
hosting
ones
Game
recently.
Grumps, Dan really opened up about his life experiences in that series. All the while, Aaron would fumble his way through the game.
OCD kind of like feeds on your imagination, so it's different for everybody. But for me, like, it was that everything in my mind would not stop connecting. Like I had too many associations constantly happening in my mind, and as a result, like I couldn't do anything.
Fumble might be an understatement, considering what...
By the way, while I'm a huge fan of Danny, I love Danny to this day, I'm not a fan of Aaron. I think Aaron's a bit of a bitch.
The crux of this video is about, and what we must discuss next.
I travel
didn't
multiple
tend to
times
read
a
the
year,
comments
Dormant, I
or
still
visit
see 'em.
Places like the Game Grumps subreddit back when I would watch the videos daily. Because of this, I had no idea what other people thought of Aaron's skills when it came to the game. In fact, I had never considered Aaron being good at the games he plays to be the appeal of watching in the first place. On the
It's not.
contrary, some of the Grumps' best moments come from Aaron failing spectacularly.
Correct.
Yes? Yes, just fall.
Just, oh my god! Are you f***ing kidding me? What happened? What happened? No! I'm out! I'm out!
Yeah, I can't judge that too much, Dax. I mean, Susie was probably a very different person in, like, 2006 or whatever when they met. Culture was very different, or 2010, whatever. Culture was very different back then. Like, I don't think that... There's a lot you can criticize Aaron for. I don't think that's a fair one.
What happened? I'm out! Oh my god! What the f*** was that?
Last year, I was on a break from working full-time and found myself revisiting old Grumps videos. I hadn't really been watching any Let's Plays for a few years. Life got too busy, and when I was free, I'd rather
I haven't
play
watched
games
them in
myself.
years.
I discovered some rather long compilations of all the Zelda games the Grumps had played over the years. Great stuff to leave on in the background. As the hours went by, it started to dawn on me that said compilations weren't celebrations of the fun had while playing those Zelda games, but legitimate critiques and condemnations of Aaron as both a Zelda player, and sometimes just as a human being. I initially saw these as a way of laughing alongside Aaron at his own folly. However, it's clear that there's a real, palpable...
Hey, what up,
disdain
Hypno?
for
How you doing,
Aaron's
brother?
gameplay
Truly
behind
appreciate
his
you for dropping
comments.
by.
Perhaps I didn't...
What's wrong with just having the name Susie? No. He wasn't saying there's anything wrong with the name Susie. I don't know if you didn't get what he was saying or if you're just trolling Netflix.
Stress how long these compilations really are. Someone had to watch and edit through literal hours of gameplay to point...
I'm gonna be real. So based on what we're getting so far, if the Sonic and Zelda fans are legitimately upset at the way Aaron plays these games, the way he talks about them, they're kind of too stupid to understand it's a character he plays. I'm gonna be real.
Point out that the guy half-heartedly playing the game and chatting with his friend wasn't doing a very good job. And I did read the comments of these compilations, several of which add to the dogpile on Aaron's credibility as a gamer. Did I really just utter the sentence, credibility as a gamer? Ugh. Now hold it right there. There is a lot to unpack here. Plus there's some crucial missing contextual evidence. Evidence to suggest that Aaron brought this on himself. Exhibit?
Okay, so I will say before he gets into this that Aaron did bring this on himself when they're about to talk about sequelitis and whatnot, because he started doing, I mean, even before YouTube, back in the Newgrounds days, he was doing this sort of thing, like speaking as an authority, giving well thought out and reasoned opinions. Obviously, it was a big name in the gaming space even before YouTube because of his animations. So yeah, when you make a name for yourself as somebody who is an authority or an expert or both on gaming, and then you do or say dumb shit to bring that into question, you brought on yourself. But I would also say, back to the media literacy conversation from earlier, it's on the viewers for not having the media literacy to know what is and isn't a character and what is or isn't being done as part of a show or for entertainment value versus, what's real. Like Game Grumps at the end of the day is very much like professional wrestling. It's, I guess it's technically unscripted, but it's still a show.
A. The Zelda sequelitis. In short, Sequelitis was an animated series created by Aaron, discussing game design. These videos are still excellent and inspired many future YouTubers. His points were clever and the presentation was entertaining. In July 2014, Aaron released...
Okay, thinking that they are, first of all, flawed, yes. Thinking they're flawed, yeah. But even the best games do have flaws. Like, for example, there's this wild misconception that Aaron hates Sonic the Hedgehog. Everyone's, talked about this at length before, right? If that was the case, why would he have also said on multiple of his shows that it's a joke, he loves Sonic? And on top of that, Sega flew him out for prior to the release of Sonic Forces and had him do ads for the game. They sent him a copy. Like, no, why if Aaron was a legit Sonic detractor, why would he and Sega have working relations? That's retarded. So yes, no, you can criticize things you love, things that are good. You can find flaws in them. I can find flaws in Resident Evil 4, one of my favorite games of all time. I can find flaws in it. I'm sorry, Dax, you are incorrect there. By the way, again, saying something versus breaking it down, I've said a bunch of ridiculously dumb shit for fun or to troll or because it's funny.
His most controversial and final episode of Sequelitis, breaking down his perceived shortcomings in Zelda Ocarina of Time. I say his perceived shortcomings because unlike pointing out how the first level of a game teaches you to play, a great deal of Aaron's points came down to how he felt about Ocarina of Time, or demonstrated that he lacked knowledge on the mechanics of the items to bypass waiting for enemies in the game.
By the way, this was a retarded video. I've watched this video. In fact, I think I've watched most of his, if not all of his sequelized videos, and this one was dumb. But by the same token, does it have to be real, or is it a character? Again, Aaron, this is still Ego Raptor, is a character.
After all,
there is so much goddamn waiting in Ocarina.
As an opinion piece, I still enjoy revisiting this video. I don't agree with a lot of Aaron's points.
Most people don't.
Many Zelda fans have used what he said in the video as ammunition against him during his Let's Plays. It's hard to take a strong stance on something like Ocarina of Time.
Well, like, for example, let's take their playthrough of Sonic Adventure, my favorite game of all time. Danny was laughing his ass off at how much Aaron was dying. And then Aaron was like, yeah, technically there's actually a version of this game that works, but I'm playing the glitchy version because it's funnier. Moments like that are proof that this is a show. Like, Aaron knows that there is a better version of the game out there. He's playing the buggy, glitchy, fucked up GameCube port because the glitches that will make him angry, rage, will be a better show for the audience. Words pass, you don't get to do that. You don't get to say it's a character and then get a free pass, say whatever stupid shit you want. Yes, you fucking do. That's what a goddamn character is. That is how professional wrestlers work. Their character. Do you think Drew McIntyre is really an actual piece of shit, or is he playing a heel? That is absolutely how characters work. God damn, you are high if you don't think that's how playing a character. Because, Daxonar, professional wrestlers are playing characters, just like how Ego Raptor is a character. God damn, people on the internet have characters or caricatures of themselves. This has been a commonplace thing since the advent of the internet. People amping up or playing down or being the opposite of what they are for content. It's been a thing since before the internet. That's why I used professional wrestling as an example, because that's what professional wrestling is known for. Their wrestlers being characters. I didn't catch the lead up to this, but most people's characters or persona really aren't that different from themselves because most people are shitty actors. I mean, that's fair, but that's also not the point I'm making.
Only to demonstrate that your ability to be good at the game is rather lacking.
Oh no.
What up, Cookies?
Oh,
Stupid clams.
Scary.
Catch you later, Zombie
Don't
Box.
ever say that to a woman.
God f***ing stupid clam.
Easy. Her name is Jennifer.
I hate clams.
You do not.
Okay, Dax, if you do not know the difference between what playing a character is and why that is a type of entertainment versus the authenticity of other individuals and that being type of entertainment, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that is retarded. There are multiple forms of entertainment in the world. Some entertainment comes from a character. Some entertainment comes from the authenticity of the lack of there being a character. That I am on target. You're just an idiot.
It's a fucking asshole.
Exactly. Thank you, Netflix Lauren. If anyone thought that Hulk Hogan acted like that in private, I don't know what to tell you. In fact, thanks for bringing up Hulk Hogan. Let's talk about Hulk Hogan for a moment. Hulk Hogan used to run around talking about his big dick, like literally his big dick. And then when he was sued and when he did a lawsuit and whatnot, and went to court for his leaked sex tape, he had to clarify on the stand, I don't have a big dick. The character of Hulk Hogan does. Why? Because there's a separate between fiction and reality. Again, there's a lot you can criticize Aaron Hansen for, and I'm all for it. I don't like Aaron Hansen. But to negate the idea that there's a difference between who he is as a person versus an online persona are wildly different. Hypno is in the audience right now. I don't know how to tell you this, but Hypno is not just a disembodied voice in the form of a VTuber or a PNG. There's a real person behind that, by the way, probably doesn't look like a dude that has a Lovecraftian void for a face and wears a cloak all the time. That is part of a character.
Clam. Why won't it fucking God? It's so bull.
Alright, hold on. Dax says this is broken logic. We'll let you decide, chat. We'll let you decide.
I think.
Just fuck. Ah! I hate it. Oh my God! Now I'm dead because of this stupid fucking clam. I was shooting it the whole time.
Is that where this all stems from? Perceived hypocrisy? Well, it's a little deeper than that. To get to the bottom of why people have dedicated hours of their lives to dunking on a YouTuber, we must explore the reasons why people watch Let's Plays in the first place. It's intriguing how other people can see the world so differently. Earlier, I touched on why I personally watch Let's Plays. It's like I'm hanging out with friends, not taking the game too seriously and making some jokes. Just straight chillin'. Yet, when Aaron misses something obvious, doesn't pay attention to instructions, or attempts to brute force something that requires strategy, to be frank, it's hilarious.
Correct. That is what made Game Grumps back in the day fun. Was that it was not good gameplay, that it was not professional gameplay, that it was casual and at the time and at times straight up bad gameplay. Like that was an appeal. There was an entertainment value there. Really, no different than angry video game nerd at times. Like, now, are the games he plays shitty games? By all means, yes. However, how much of that was also certain games he was just bad at? Like, that's part of the entertainment value. We as humans love seeing people fail and be bad at things. It makes us feel better. But yes, I don't know how that's not coming across.
Unavoidable.
No, you're in great shape. You're in
And then when I
great shape.
fly backwards, I'm gonna get hit. It's fucking stupid.
All right, chill.
It's ridiculous.
I have no idea who that is,
now
Netflix.
I'm getting hit, and now I'm getting hit, and I gotta get the rings. Oh shit!
Please don't die.
I'm trying, and he hits me, please! No! What the f even? What even with this? This is such garbage! And he's gonna do the chin move! Unavoidable chin move! Unavoidable chin move!
Okay, Dax, do you not know what playing the heel is? Like, honest question, do you not know what playing the heel is? That is why the dynamic of Aaron and Danny worked. Danny was the face and Aaron was the heel. If you don't know how that dynamic or why that dynamic works... Yeah, exactly, Netflix Foreign. It is clear overreacting. Exactly. Okay, Dax. What? No, okay. You're retarded. If Harrison Ford plays a villain in a movie, does he deserve to get called out in real life for the bad things his fucking character does? No, because it's not real. It's not real. And by the way, playing the heel has evolved beyond being a wrestling term. Okay, playing the heel has, well, I could use a different terminology. Good cop, bad cop. It's got the same fucking thing behind it. Whether I say heel versus face or good cop, bad cop, it effectively means the same thing. I don't know what he says on X because I don't follow him. Because I don't like Aaron. I'm actually in agreement with Dax. I don't like Aaron. But for actual reasons as opposed to Dax and R's bullshit criticisms.
What the?
It's funny because Aaron is self-aware that he's not incredibly skilled at some of the games he plays. On a meta level, it's part of the bit. If every episode was Aaron flawlessly beating everything he plays, that would be much less entertaining. Dan often acts as a surrogate for the audience, voicing our concerns and laughing at Aaron's expense. I sympathize with Aaron, given that he must simultaneously focus on the game, as well as be
So, I don't know that he is an asshole per se, but I do think that he is a coward. I do think that Aaron Hansen is a coward. I don't know about asshole because I don't know the guy personally. However, anybody that does a comedy show, which is what the Games Grump at least used to be. I don't know if it still is because I don't watch them. But anybody that does a comedy show and then alters their comedy because they are afraid of backlash or because, oh, we shouldn't be punching down because that's morally wrong, this, that, and the other, is a shitty comedian and a shitty role model for what comedy should be. And that is my issue with Aaron Hansen. Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor, whatever you want to fucking call him, started altering his comedy and putting barriers and walls up for jokes because he was afraid of censorship, because he thought that certain things have changed in society that make these jokes now incorrect, or my least favorite fucking thing, the claim that I can't go as hard as I want to go because I have a company and I have employees to pay. And if YouTube shuts me down, I can't pay them. Like, hiding behind that level of criticism when you could have been a forefront in the face, a leader at the forefront of censorship online is bitch made. Those, in my opinion, are all active reasons to have massive issues with Aaron Hansen. Him playing a character that is intentionally overreacts and is fakes being bad at video games is not the same thing.
An entertaining host. I truly believe that him and Dan are skilled improvisers. Otherwise, we'd see a million other similar channels take off. So why does a subsection of Grumps viewers become absolutely enraged at something, like Aaron never using his shield? It goes back to the parasocial relationship between viewer and YouTuber. I can imagine trying to tell your friend how to correctly play a game and them not listening to you at all. It must be frustrating. Am I implying that some people...
Then don't fucking watch. I'm gonna be real. If you were so upsetty spaghetti about the fact that he wasn't using his shield, there's a million other YouTubers out there that probably do Legend of Zelda Let's Plays, and you can watch them. The idea is that people are getting entertainment from how bad the gameplay is, and that there's comedy to be had there. There's no shortage of people playing fucking Legend of Zelda. I've played Legend of Zelda on my streams, and I'm probably better at it than Aaron, or if he actually is good at it, oh well, I actively don't play the game badly.
People are watching YouTube videos incorrectly? I don't think so. The death of the author is no stranger to film and video. It's simply a fact that some folks watch grumps for company, while others are invested in seeing a game played well. Some relish in Aaron's failure, while others get incredibly annoyed. Then, there's Aaron's own opinions on Zelda. Some take offense and see the points Aaron makes as an attack on something they hold dear. To them, it ceases to be just some guy playing Zelda unabashedly and becomes a prominent internet personality, damaging the reputation of Zelda games and therefore the fans. Like with everything on the internet, for our final stop on this ride, it all comes down to similarly to Zelda.
Now see, I was more or less aware that Zelda fans had issues with Aaron, and in my opinion, undeservedly so. I absolutely knew about this one. People either love or hate their Sonic coverage.
I've played almost all the mainline Sonic games, with the biggest difference being that I'm a surface level fan compared to those who truly adore them. Sonic Heroes is my favorite. It's more than a little janky, but I grew up with it. The music and levels are really fun. The Game Grumps playthrough of Sonic Heroes was equally as enjoyable.
That's not what I'm giving this video at all. So far, this video has not been like, don't be mean to Aaron. What it's saying is, if you're going to levy criticism, make sure you understand the thing you're criticizing first. Which it seems obvious to me that even you don't understand the thing. I've given legitimate criticisms about Aaron. I have not heard you say anything that's a legitimate criticism of Aaron beyond, I don't like him. I've criticized his handling of comedy. I've criticized him hiding behind that he has employees to pay. I've criticized his bowing and kowtowing to YouTube censorship. What are your criticisms?
Aaron is not a patient person. Possessing the pressure of producing a show must make navigating Sonic Heroes' shortcomings a nightmare. But Sonic has a ride-or-die fan base. Considering everything we've discussed so far, it's no wonder that such vitriol was thrown Aaron's way.
No, Aaron, Dax, I'm being hyperbolic. I understand your criticisms. I just think they are bullshit criticisms. They are not valid criticisms. You have yet to provide me with what I would consider to be a valid criticism.
These compilations were highly corrosive. Oh, and remember how Aaron spoke ill of Ocarina of Time? How that came back to bite him? It's not like Aaron has contributed to truckloads of ridicule Sonic has amassed over the years by showcasing how buggy and broken his games can be. Oh wait, Sega officially had Aaron involved in their promotions, by the way.
Which I brought up! Again, so if that doesn't lend the credence towards he is being an entertainer, putting on a show. Like, all right, Joe Rogan does a stand-up bit, right? Joe Rogan does a stand-up bit and talks about the founding fathers. He says, that was 300 years ago. People lived to be 100. That's 3 people ago. Do you think Joe Rogan actually fucking thinks that the Declaration of Independence was 3 people ago? Or is it an exaggeration for comedic effect that the on-stage persona of Joe Rogan says versus what the real-life person Joe Rogan thinks? No, they are obviously different. Joe Rogan does not think that America was 3 people ago. Okay, you have to be able to separate what is being done and exaggerated for entertainment value versus what the real person behind said entertainment thinks, says, or does. They are not the same. My criticism is that Aaron, instead of exercising patience and trying to get better, is actively blames the game. Okay. Your belief is that Aaron actually does that, versus there being mountains of evidence that that is part of a character. Now, you don't have to like that character, but that is not real. It is for entertainment value.
Self-proclaimed Sonic hate.
What do you mean, what evidence? How about the evidence right here that he works directly with Sega? If he was spending all this time shitting on Sonic and blaming on Sonic and wasn't actually a Sonic fan, why would Sega work with him? Thank you, Matt. Exactly. He is overselling Blame the Game for the sake of entertainment. He actively plays bad versions of games specifically. He's said that on the show, that he is playing the bad version of Sonic DX, as if there's a good version of Sonic DX, because it is more entertaining.
Or lover? So what gives? It all comes down to the version of reality you perceive. Let's dive into the nuance of Aaron's relationship with Sonic the Hedgehog. Surface level. Aaron hates Sonic. It's safe to say that someone unfamiliar with the grumps would interpret Aaron's harsh comments while he plays as a sign that he's just not fond of Sonic games. And that would be a fair assessment. Yet, below the surface, Aaron loves Sonic. Watching the various playthroughs they've done over the years, something else that's rather apparent is how fond Aaron is of the characters, music, and very premise of Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's not forget that early in his online career, Aaron even based one of his animations on the series. There must have been some semblance of admiration. Unless, in the ocean, Aaron facetiously likes Sonic. It's all a front, of course it is. Who could genuinely like such a buggy mess of games for children? Sonic is pathetic. Attempting to be so cool when the 90s have come and gone. What a joke. Yeah, I love Sonic. He's so rad. As long as the dumbasses who enjoy these horrible games keep watching, I'll keep profiting. It's all part of the game, baby. Is another perspective one might perceive if they aren't privy to the bigger picture. The bottom line is this. No one wants to be miserable. And if those games truly made Aaron feel that way, they wouldn't play them. Grumps could play 1,000 other games and
That is entirely correct. That is entirely correct. If there was not a fun factor or an enjoyment factor, it wouldn't be done. Like, yes, you could play a game you don't like shittily once or twice for views. Bro, they have done 40 plus episode sittings of multiple Sonic games. You don't do that for something you don't like, even for content. Not for all the years they've been doing it.
retain their fan base. And there's a precedent for them dropping games simply because they're just not that into them.
Correct. Something else he's done multiple times.
I don't know what episode this is of Majora's Mask.
I think it's like 25.
I can't keep going. I can't keep going. I feel like me getting frustrated about this is not fun to watch. I feel like it's putting me in a shitty mood. And I just want to make a good show for why are you looking at my
Sorry, no, go on.
More likely, deep down, Aaron wants to love Sonic. Some might call it an abusive relationship. Clearly,
there's that aspect
Aaron
as well,
holds an
Serrano. Fair enough.
appreciation for the aesthetic, sound, and atmosphere of the Sonic games. After all, Aaron played these as a kid himself. However, he can't turn a blind eye to how broken these games are. The best he can do is tease them in a similar fashion that one teases their crush. What the hell am I even talking about anymore? I failed you. What the hell am I talking about? I just spouted far too many contradictions. Am I implying that two things can be true at the same time? Oh, uncharted depths. The gray, murky reality. Some of the Grumps' earliest viral moments came from exploiting Sonic 06, forever entangling their fates. But I truly believe that Aaron enjoyed Sonic as a child, and shares...
I mean, I agree with you about the video structure being shit. Yeah, frankly, I'm not a big fan of the video structure. But that being said, my commentary on it is fucking fantastic.
Disappointment regarding how much squandered potential there is in the series. On a slightly related note, I completed Shadow Generations recently, and it was phenomenally good.
Fun fact, completely unrelated. I was playing this like up until 5 minutes before the stream. From the moment I got done editing and posting and whatnot my video from earlier, I was playing this game until about 5 minutes before the stream, and I'm going to go back to playing it after the stream.
So perhaps those games are heading in the right direction. Aaron likes the Sonic series, but recognizes and makes fun of its shortcomings. The Grumps profit from this for sure. However, it's quite entertaining when they do.
You're killing it as well,
Otherwise,
Dax.
I'm not sure so many people would be watching, even as I currently write this. You could also make the argument that Sonic gets to stay relevant. Remember when this was a video about Zelda? Take everything I just said about Aaron's relationship with Sonic and apply it to Zelda. He grew up playing A Link to the Past and didn't jive with the direction of OOT. However, he liked the series enough to produce an original animation and write a video essay. People do not spend that much time and invest that much emotional energy into something they don't care about.
So, yeah, I'm gonna be real. That video was really nothing special. Like, I love shitty video essays like that. And again, mad props to the dude that made it. Again, he got 50-something thousand views on that with 6,000 subs. Dude did his job right. I do appreciate the shit out of that. Yeah, all in all, I think the more interesting discussion wasn't touched on, which was the discussion that Dax and I were having. The duality of playing a character versus being the real person, and how people online can misconstrue those. Like, so many, whether it be a content creator or an actor or a musician or whatnot, are very different behind the scenes than the characters they play. That would have been a far more interesting angle to lean into. The dude didn't do that, but I did, and that made that video 1,000 times better. The video essayist is quite boring. Yeah, which is why I like to react to him to spice him up. I love a good video essay. I don't really think that was a particularly good video essay. Did he just admit he didn't care about his own video? Yeah, that was a dumb bit at the end. But it was still a bit. And that is the most interesting part of being any sort of creative, is like, once you put something out there, it's gonna take on a life of its own. Like, so let's say you're an artist. Let's say you're a musician and you write a song. That song has a meaning. Assuming you put a meaning behind it. Let's say you wrote this song about child abuse. Other people listen to it and they think it's about, spousal abuse or alcoholism or, insert whatever they take from it. Now, they are wrong objectively, because that's not what it's about. You as a creator made it about something. That being said, if they got something out of it that wasn't what you intended, there is no stopping that. Once you open the Pandora's box of putting your art out there, it stays out there, and it's going to take on a life of its own regardless of what you say. So, there's a duality to it. Yeah, that being said, I think that's going to wrap this one up. We went a whole ass hour longer than normal, and I'm A-okay with that because I had a blast. So, let's find out who we rating. Give me one moment to see who's live and who we're rating. Alright, don't y'all go anywhere. We want to make there's 37 of you still here. We're going to make sure that someone gets some love. Obi Dean, nice you show up. Leon loves Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People because it's about the Columbine, but most people don't notice it. I love it for, well, I don't know if it's about Columbine or school shootings in general, but yes, I do. I do love that song, specifically for that reason, and because it's got a sick-ass bass line. I mean, just a truly sick-ass bass line. Now, I'm not. That's what I was saying earlier. There are two types of creators out there. There are those that, that lean on pure authenticity, and that's how there's an entertainment value there because there's authenticity. Or there are those that lean into playing a character, and that's I chose the authentic route, and maybe narcissistically because I believe that being authentic me is entertaining enough as is. I don't need to play a character. But yeah, not everybody is like that. So, we're gonna raid Mama Akko. That's what we're gonna raid. Leon's character is a fully trained. See, That was a yes, exactly. Leona was a character. Exactly. I completely forgot Leona was even a thing. But yes, Akko Raid, we're getting out of here. Thank you so much, everybody. For those of you that donated, it means the absolute world to me. You don't need to, you do. It's truly appreciated. I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah, for the lunch hour, we're doing it at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Y'all better be there. There will, of course, be amazing, interesting, and hilarious things to cover. Beyond that, stick around for the Akko Raid. We'll be on Zax's show tonight. And if you've not watched my video on the Cracker Barrel stuff, I put it out today. Watch the Cracker Barrel video. Until next time, though, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. And you need to make sure you type Vital Idol Raid in Mama Akko's chat. Deuces.